Welcome to Alemany High School for the semifinals of the CIF Pac-5 Playoffs between the St. John Bosco Braves and the Alemany Warriors. With a trip to Anaheim on the line, a hello and good evening to all. My name is Chris Sylvester alongside Adam Ferrister. Last week, St. John Bosco cruised past the Tesoro Titans 55-7, while Alemany came out over Servite in a nail-biter 21-19 at Cerritos College. St. John Bosco is looking to get to the CIF championship game next week for the first time since 1986, but it won't be easy here on the road tonight. Adam, what are your keys to the game?
And defend the East goal.
For Alemany, they need to control the ball and have a good defense and be able to stop Shea Fields and Jaleel Wadood, which has been a problem for most teams. They've been able to stop one or the other, but they have yet to been able to stop both. And Alemany does have the talent on their team to do that, but it's going to be very difficult for them to stop both of them. And for Bosco, it's just going to be play the game they've played all year. Dominate and get that good push from the offensive line to open holes for Sean McGrew and Noss, and then get penetration on the defensive line so the quarterback and running back can't do any damage.
Like I said in the intro, this would be the first time that St. John Bosco makes a trip down to Angel Stadium to play in the CIF championship game, if in fact they do get by Alemany here tonight. And you've been saying all season long that the only team that can beat Bosco is Bosco themselves by shooting themselves in the foot with silly mistakes. You stand by that comment here tonight against a very good Alemany team.
Yes, I do, and Alemany hasn't won a title either, so they're fighting for the same thing Bosco's fighting. They're fighting to get that title. Alemany wants it more than anything. They fought as hard as any team I've seen fight against Servite, and they were able to squeak out that win. They know what they need to do tonight, and Bosco knows what they need to do tonight.
We got kickoff next in the semifinals of the CIF Southern Section Pac-5 Playoffs between the Alemany Warriors and the St. John Bosco Braves. You won't want to miss it.
Tonight's presentation of St. John Bosco football is brought to you by Tam's Pizzeria. Deliver, call in, and order. Just walk into the corner of Bellflower and Rosecrans for Tam's Pizzeria. They have it all. And highschoolscoreboard.com. All of your updated scores, news, and statistics all at one place. To get the app and registration, log on at highschoolscoreboard.com. Tam's Pizzeria is a proud sponsor of the St. John Bosco Football Radio Network. Tam's has it all. Pizza, wings, burgers, and more. Say Braves #1 when you order any specialty pizza and receive $2 off. Call in and order at 562-925-7700. Again, 562-925-7700. Walk-ins are always welcome as Tam's is located on the corner of Bellflower and Rosecrans. Tam's Pizzeria. They have it all.
Back here at Alemany High School, just about set to kick it off in the CIF Southern Section Pac-5 playoff matchup between the St. John Bosco Braves and Alemany Warriors. This is the second time in 3 years that these two teams matched up. 2 years ago, St. John Bosco knocked off Alemany at this same field, 33-31 in the first round of the playoffs. Of course, both these teams look a lot different than they did 2 years ago. A lot of the kids graduating that were big parts of both teams respectively 2 years ago. So who knows what to expect from tonight's matchup, right, Adam?
Yes, and who knows at this point, and both teams are very good. You do not make it to the semifinals of the Pac-5 by mistake. You have to work your butt off every single day in practice, and you have to show up every week, and both of these teams have done that this year.
Well, St. John Bosco, like they've been doing lately, won the toss and elected to defer, so Reed Budrovich, the excellent kicker for the Braves, the lefty senior kicker, is about to kick this CIF Southern Section Pac-5 semifinal game underway. Both these teams turned up to get this one started, and Budrovich boots a line drive that's going to head back into the end zone for a touchback. So Mr. Aleph Grays and the Alemany offense will take over at their own 20-yard line after the Budrovich touchback.
20-yard line.
The biggest thing for them right now is they need to at least control the ball, and they need to get points on this drive. They need to show Bosco that they are not going to dominate this game, and they need to show that they have the ability to control the ball, which is when Bosco has struggled when teams have been able to do that.
You're going to see a couple of different offensive sets tonight for the Warriors. So they'll sometimes come out under center. They'll sometimes come out of the gun. It's just a mix-up with Aleph Grays and Coach Harrington's team, and it's going to be Grays here with the screen pass to start it, and it's only going to be about a gain of 3 that time. Chandler Lanou and Jaleel Wadoud first to the ball tackler, only got a gain of 3 that time. The screen passes work for St. John Bosco's offense, but not too many times you see it work against their defense.
No, you usually don't, but that is a good play. You get 3 yards in the right direction, make it a 2nd and 7. You've got given yourself a good shot at getting this first down.
Here we're going to have Alemany come out in a pistol set. 2 receivers lined up to the left for Grays. Has a tight end in the package as well. The handoff's going to go to the running back, Dominic Davis, and Davis is loose down the sidelines. He has an Alemany first down, and he's going to be taken down at the 33-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Warriors.
Dominic Davis.
We usually don't see the run game work very well against this Bosco defense, so we'll see if they can produce the run game and get that started, because if they can, they'll be very devastating in the pass game with the play action.
1st and 10 for Alemany after the 10-yard run from Dominic Davis, who got the first strike last week against Servite. He caught a touchdown, a 19-yard pass from Aleph Grays to get things scoring against Servite last week. We're going to have a screen pass once again, except this time out to number 4, Brandon Pierce, and Pierce is upended out around the 40-yard line. A good gain there on first down of about 6.
Yes, it is. They're sort of running a Bosco-style offense with those bubble screens and smoke screens and getting good runs in there. So Bosco is yet to have a team throw screens on them for positive yards. So it'll be interesting to see if Alemany can continue this good progress that they have so far.
Alemany, like you said, sort of running the same type of plays that Bosco runs, but certainly not a hurry-up offense like the Braves do. Alemany, a slower offense. It's a 2-back set here. They'll use their fullback sometimes. It's going to be a reverse. It's going to be a trick play. Number 13, Deshaun Holmes got the handoff. He's just going to decide to tuck and run with it, and he's going to get out of bounds after a gain of 1. Bosco that time did a great job of bottling up what could have been a big play through the air, a trick play to the wide receiver Deshaun Holmes.
You got to give credit to Jaleel Wadoud there. He saw the run. He saw the wide receiver, running across the field, and he had the presence of mind to guard him, which prevented the pass from going there. And that pass could have been very devastating and potentially have gone for a touchdown if Jaleel Wadoud had not been covering that wide receiver.
3rd and 4 here for Alemany on their own 40-yard line, trying to keep this drive going and keep Josh Rosen and the Bosco offense on the cold sidelines for as much time as they can. Out of the gun, and it's going to be a draw. It's going to be a first down for Alemany as the quarterback, Aleph Grays, gets across to the 48-yard line.
Quarterback keeper.
And Alemany has their 2nd first down of the drive. That's something we haven't seen from quarterbacks this year. Yes, we've seen dual-threat quarterbacks, but the thing what Aleph Grays can do, he scrambles more than any quarterbacks Bosco's seen all season long.
Yes, he has, and he has an arm too, so it's going to be interesting to see if Bosco can match both the run and legs of Grays there. And now Bosco really hasn't struggled so far on the first drive of an offense, besides that Chandler game in which they scored on the first 2 plays. But other than that, we really haven't seen a team dominate Bosco's defense like Alemany has so far.
So Aleph Grays picks up the first down for Alemany. The quarterback, he wears number 2 for the Warriors, and the handoff back to Dominic Davis, and Davis cuts himself
carried by number 16,
just into St. John Bosco territory, a gain of 2 that time. Davis not the biggest running back in the world, but he has a full head of steam ahead of him when he runs the football.
Yes, he does. But those Bosco linebackers are coming with just the amount of force, so it's a head collision right there, and we'll see who can come out on top there.
2-yard gain on the play.
2-yard gain that time from Dominic Davis. That was his 3rd carry of this drive. Just a gain of 2 that time. It's a 2nd and 8. Alemany has the ball right at the 50-yard line. Out of the gun comes Alif Grays. Grays is going to give the handoff back to Davis, and Davis is met in the backfield.
By number 16, Dominic Davis.
Emery Sefo and Ivan Martinez gang up to tackle him. Loss of 2 on the play, and it brings up a 3rd and 10 for the Warriors. What penetration that time by the big 307-pound defensive lineman, Emery Sefo.
That's a big boy coming in there, and when he gets your arms around you, you are not breaking that tackle. And Ivan Martinez is just a man. He is a strong, mean kind of guy that when he helps, you're going down.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
A 3rd and 9 here. Bosco, I'd say, needs to stop before Alemany can even think about getting into field goal range. It's about a 3rd and a 9.5 here, and whistles blow, and Alemany will take their first charge
timeout on the field.
Timeout of the half, and so will we with 8:42 left to go in the first quarter. We got no score. Alemany has a 3rd and 10. Come on back to the St. John Bosco Broadcast Network after this.
Doesn't have a curfew, so stop by Jack and
Tonight's presentation of St. John Bosco football is brought to you by Tam's Pizzeria. Deliver, call in, and order. Just walk into the corner of Bellflower and Rosecrans for Tam's Pizzeria. They have it all. And highschoolscoreboard.com. All of your updated scores, news, and statistics all at one place. To get the app and registration, log on at highschoolscoreboard.com.
Back here at Alemany High School, 8:42 left to go, first quarter, no score between the Braves and the Warriors.
3rd down and 9.
Alemany has themselves a 3rd and 9 on their own 49-yard line. We've seen Alif Grays on a couple of screen passes, but we have not seen him attempt to pass downfield. You'd figure they'd have to do something like that here on a 3rd and 9. Davis got the first 2 carries on the series, and it's out of the gun here for Alif Grays. Alif Grays back to pass, scrambles, he's rolled out to his left. Manziel-like rolls out to his right, and he's just going to get tackled in the backfield by Chandler Lanou, the Wazoo commit. Loss of 6 on the play. Alemany's going to be forced upon a huge stop early for the
tackle made by number 4,
tremendous
Chandler
defense that
Lanou.
St. John Bosco brings to the table.
Yes, and we saw the offensive line was slipping about at the 40-yard line, so we'll see if that affects the game at all. I saw that in warm-ups too when I was watching.
Warriors
there was a little bit of
formation.
slipping, so we'll see. There has been rain, so we'll see if that affects the game, but Alemany's set to punt right now to Jaleel Wadood.
Wadood back to receive for the Braves. Always a dangerous returnman. And flags fly here.
Penalty marker on the field.
It's either an offsides or a false start. I mean, no matter what the call is, it's still going to be a 4th and long, and you're not going to go for it here if you're Alemany. It is an offside penalty against St. John Bosco, so that'll give the kicker, Carlos
Number
Garrido,
19, Carlos Garrido in punt formation.
Here a chance to pin the Braves a little bit deeper. Out of the gun. Back to punt this one away is Carlos Garrido. The Braves bring the pressure, and the punt is a bad one. He shanked it way out of bounds. It goes. It is a windy night here in Mission Hills, California, but that's about a net worth of a 15-yard punt, and St. John Bosco is going to have good field position here from the 35-yard line, a 1st and 10 for St. John Bosco.
Bosco has had great success on their first drives a lot of the and it'll be interesting to see how Alemany's defense responds to the stop that St. John Bosco's defense stopped on their offense.
1st and 10 for Josh Rosen and the potent Bosco offense.
39-yard line. 1st down.
They put up 35 points in the first quarter last week against Tesoro. Rosen comes out in a 4-receiver set, changes the play at the line. McGrew the lone back, and the opening handoff's going to go to Sean McGrew. McGrew cuts to the left side and has himself a gain of 5 that time. 1st and 10 for the Braves, make it now 2nd and 5 for St. John Bosco. In the games that Alemany's lost this year, and it's only been 2 of them, they allowed over 700 yards of rushing combined in those 2 games. So if Bosco can get it going on the ground tonight, it's not good news for the Warriors. Quickly moving is that spread offense that Bosco runs. Once again, the handoff to McGrew. McGrew has himself a first down. McGrew still not down. Inside the 45 of Alemany, brought down at the 44. 1st and 10, St. John Bosco. The rushing attack looks good after the first 2 plays on this drive for the Braves.
Yes, it is. And going back to what you were talking about, the losing the games, Bosco wants to make this a high-scoring game, while Alemany wants to do just the opposite and keep this a low-scoring game. That's how they'll win, if they can keep it low-scoring.
Out of the gun comes Rosen. Almost got the defensive line of the Warriors to jump. He's going to change the play at the line. It's a pistol set. McGrew once again the lone back. They're going to pitch it out to Sean McGrew on the option, and McGrew cuts down the sidelines. He's still on his feet. There goes Sean McGrew cutting across, and he's inside the 20-yard line,
by number 5,
down to the 16. Sean McGrew, a huge gain that time.
Tackle made by
1st and 10 Braves. They're already in the red zone. No problem moving the ball against this Alemany defense on the first drive.
It's been Sean McGrew against Alemany defense so far, and it just shows how explosive Sean McGrew is. When he gets open, he is one of the fastest accelerators in the Trinity League.
Ball's at the Alemany 15. It took St. John Bosco just 3 plays to get here in the red zone of the Warriors for the first time tonight on their first offensive possession. No score, under 6.5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Rosen's going to pass this time. He's going towards the end zone. He has Shea Fields, and the pass is incomplete. He just overshot him that time. But you got to give credit to the corner that time for Alemany breaking up that pass.
Yeah, credit to him, and that's what we talked about in the pregame, was you have to guard those, and that's a very difficult task for those cornerbacks, to guard D1 commit, both Jaleel Wadood and Shea Fields.
Spot on the 15-yard line, 2nd down and 10.
Out of the gun comes Rosen on a 2nd and 10. They'll go back to the ground. That's Manesse Anesse, Nas they like to call him, and Nas cuts to the 10-yard line, a gain of 5 that time. Alemany, it'd be key for them to get a stop here and possibly hold St. John Bosco to just 3 points. And anytime you can hold St. John Bosco to anything less than 7 points, I feel it's a victory for your defense.
It is, and it's a confidence booster for both your offense and defense, because that means your offense knows, okay, we're only down 3, we can still gain the lead at this point and get momentum in our favor.
McGrew back in the game in the backfield with Rosen. It's a play action. Rosen's going towards Jaleel Wadood in the end zone. Wadood catches it. Touchdown Braves!
Complete to number 2.
10-yard pass from junior to senior. And with 5:39 left to go in the first quarter, the almighty Braves strike first.
Yes, that's what we're used to seeing the Braves here strike first, and that's what we've seen them do. It's going to be Alemany needs to respond with some points, whether it be 3 or 7, preferably 7. But I think you need to get something going on offense at this point.
Reed Budjovic in to attempt the extra point. Jaleel Wadood catching his 15th touchdown pass of the season, and extra point up and good from Budjovic. He had 3 last week on the screen pass. That time it wasn't a screen pass. It was just a normal slant route from the slot receiver, Jaleel Wadood. He simply beat his man. Rosen put the ball right on the money. A good sign for St. John Bosco's offense. And here we are with 5:39 left to go in the first quarter. Bosco's right where they want to be, up 7-0.
They are, and that just shows that Jaleel Wadood isn't a one-dimensional guy who's just fast and can only run the screen passes. He can run crisp routes like we saw there. Those cornerbacks are very good, and do not take anything away from those. They have held every other team they played for minimal passing yardage. It's usually come from the run, as we talked about, which we lost.
Kicking off for the
they need to step up more than they have so far and block both Jaleel Wadood and Shea Fields.
I don't care who your defense is, but I just feel like no defense, even if Bosco sees the likes of Mater Dei again or Poly next week, you just can't stop this attack. You simply can't.
No one's figured it out yet. No one's figured out the Bosco offensive code.
Budrovic getting set to line up and kick this one off, and the kick once again sails back into the end zone for a touchback. So
Alif, the kickoff is a touchback.
Grays and the Alemany offense will take over once again at their own 20. It's the benefit of having such a good kicker and Reed Budrovic. I mean, yeah, the kicker goes unnoticed a lot of the time, especially in high school football. But I just go back off the top of my head to Pauley Granite Bay in the Division I state championship last year. Pauley missed an extra point and lost that game 21-20. You look at last week with Servite could have won that game in overtime, but instead had to go for 2 at the end. Alemany denied them of it, and here's Alemany and Bosco. Could have been Servite and Bosco. That's how big it is to have such a reliable kicker like Reed Budrovic. Bosco, certainly that's a big luxury for them to have. They just really have it all at every single position. Out of the gun here for Grays, it's going to be a screen pass out to the left, and it's a good gain that time for Brandon Pierce as he has himself an Alemany first down and a gain of 15. So the screen pass working well against the St. John Bosco defense, a little bit surprising.
Made by number 7.
Yeah, it has been. They're attacking the cornerbacks, and I really like that strategy. Those cornerbacks haven't been tested too often. It's usually been Jaleel Wadood and Christian Holland who have backed up those cornerbacks and help break up those plays. So attacking both Chandler Hawkins and Nigel Hale individually, I feel is a good strategy.
7-0 Bosco, 5.5 minutes left to go, first quarter. Alemany has themselves a 1st and 10 at their own 32. It's a pass this time to number 3. That was the wide receiver Brandon Boyd, and he dropped the football. I do believe he dropped the football. He caught it for a second.
He
almost fumbled. He fumbled it out of bounds, so they will rule that a completion, and it's going to be a first down for Alemany. How about them apples? So
pass complete to number 3.
First and 10 for the Warriors after Brandon Boyd catches the football. He had all green in front of him. St. John Bosco fortunate that he just dropped the football out of bounds.
That was a bad play by Nigel Hale. He went and tried to attack the guy in front of him and get a pick where the ball was passed right behind him. And if the guy had not fumbled the ball, he could have ran all the way down the field. That's Nigel Hale not doing a great job.
1st and 10 for Alemany at the 43. The handoff to Davis. Dominic Davis across right tackle just for a gain of 2.
By number 16,
I think Alemany's going to find out real quickly in this game, even as good as Dominic Davis is, that you're not going to be able to break off big plays on the ground against St. John Bosco.
You won't be able to break those big plays off, but that's not what you need necessarily. You just need those short yards that'll get you those 3-4 yard gains each and every play. That's what sets up those long play action passes when the defense gets tired of having to tackle those guys at 4 or 5 yards above the line of scrimmage there. And the defense wants to cheat a little bit, and that's when you go deep, and that's when the play action works.
2nd and 8 here for the Warriors, and the penalty marker flies. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a delay of game. It seems like Alemany took a lot of time. Well,
timeout charge to the Warriors.
Coach Dean Harrington took a timeout before the delay of game penalty was called, so we'll take a timeout as well with 4:19 left to go in the first quarter. St. John Bosco up on top early, 7-0. The Braves lead.
Fast food around. No dairy.
Tonight's presentation of St. John Bosco football is brought to you by Tam's Pizzeria. Deliver, call in, and order. Just walk into the corner of Bellflower and Rosecrans for Tam's Pizzeria. They have it all. And highschoolscoreboard.com. All of your updated scores, news, and statistics all at one place. To get the app and registration, log on at highschoolscoreboard.com. Catch every high school game this season with the High School Scoreboard app, along with @St. John Bosco on Twitter as well. Now back to Bosco football with Chris Sylvester and Nick Rice.
Back here at Alemany High School, the Braves
ball spotted on the 45
strike first in this game. A 10-yard pass from Josh Rosen to Jaleel Wadood got the scoring started for St. John Bosco. 7-0 they lead. 4:19 left to go here in the first quarter from Mission Hills, California, Bishop Alemany High School. It's a 2nd and 8 here for the Warriors on their own 45. A pass is going to be complete from Alif Grays to the wide receiver Brandon Pierre, and that's going to be Good for about a gain of 6 that time. A 3rd and short upcoming in St. John Bosco territory at the 49.
Knocked out of bounds
These receivers
by
for
number 2,
Alemany do a
Jaleel
great
Wadu.
job at running these crossing patterns, and so far they've worked well against the Division I secondary of the Braves.
Ball is spotted on the
It has,
49-yard
and
line.
like we
3rd
talked
down
about,
and
all
2.
of that secondary has offers at this point now. And so they have done a great job. That crossing route has worked. And I talked about that early on in the season, that the crossing route will work.
It's going to be an interesting call here. It's a 5-receiver set. Wouldn't be surprised to see the draw again here. Alif drops back, throws the pass, and the pass is complete. And it looks like Alemany is going to have themselves a 1st down. It's very close to the marker. The Warriors
Complete
needed the
to number 4,
47.
Brandon
and
Pierce.
that's exactly where Brandon Pierce got tackled at. Might have a situation where you need the chains to come out, and sure enough, the refs won't even need the chains. They thought they would at first, but the ball clearly across the 1st down marker, and another 1st down picked up by Alemany. First time tonight, the Warriors in St. John Bosco territory. They have themselves a 1st and 10 at the St. John Bosco 46.
Good play right there. And now Alemany's right where they were stopped last time, and we'll see if they can convert and get into the Bosco red zone on this drive.
1st and 10 for the Warriors. It's Alif Harris and a pistol set. 2 receivers to the right, his tight ends to the left. It's Davis with the carry. Davis tries to find a seam, and Davis is taken down at the 40-yard line. About a gain of 7 that time. So Dominic Davis, like I said earlier, a full head of steam when he runs, and that time just put his head down and barreled across for a gain of 7. 2nd and 3 Alemany.
What Alemany is doing that we haven't seen often is their linemen are opening holes for their running back. Very few teams have been able to do that against Bosco, and none of them throughout the whole game. So we'll see if Alemany can keep this good offensive push and see if it'll continue throughout the whole rest of the game.
Well, that time Davis ran behind the left side of his line. Quentin Sims and Audrey Jackson are on the left side of the line for Alemany, and that'll be a timeout here. We're going to have a timeout on the field. Alemany just burned their 3rd timeout of the first half. We still got 2:51 left to go in the first quarter here. That's kind of surprises me. I know Coach Harrington, you're facing the number 1 team in the state of California. You're down 7-0. You can't afford to have any mistakes early, because if St. John Bosco gets up early, you're done. I don't know how else to put it. But using your first 3 timeouts of the half here in the first quarter, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's just a strategy they're running. They're running a strategy of don't mess up early and just try to get some started now, and we'll try not to have to call a timeout there now.
And ready to learn.
In the second quarter.
Please visit www.
So Alemany, how about that? They just burned their 3rd timeout of the first half. They got no timeouts remaining.
Ball spot on the 40-yard
Here with
line.
2:51
2nd down and 4.
left to go in the first quarter. St. John Bosco leads 7-0. Alemany has themselves a 2nd and about 3.5 here at the St. John Bosco 40. Alif Grays and this Warrior offense driving on this series. Alif's going to pitch it this time to Dominic Davis, and Davis originally was going to be taken down in the backfield. Still loses a couple on the play, but a flag flies in late, and this could very well be a late hit against the Braves.
Yeah, that's what it looks like it'll be called, and that's 15-yard penalty, which will put Alemany in good position. Horse collar tackle. Horse collar tackle was the call.
The Braves.
So that's a 15-yard personal foul, and so that'll give Alemany good field position now. And that's a key mistake by the Braves. He's already going out of bounds. No need to put your hand behind his helmet, which is the horse collar there.
Silly mistake here early
on the 27-yard
for St. John Bosco. We mentioned it in the intro.
Is a Warriors first
The
down.
only team that's going to beat St. John Bosco is St. John Bosco themselves. And right there, a penalty gives Alemany a free, effortless 15 yards. Now Alemany has themselves a 1st and 10 at the Bosco 27, 2:25 left to go. First quarter, the Braves up on top 7-0 over the Warriors. Out of the gun comes Alif Grays. The running back is Dominic Davis. He'll motion out Davis to the left, but not before a flag flies. And this time, a delay of game will be called on Alemany. That's the big difference
against the Warriors
between these two offenses here tonight. Bosco moves so quickly. Alemany likes to take their time in between plays.
Yes, they're taking their time, and that time they took a little bit too much time.
Ball is spotted on the 32-yard line. First down and 15.
So that'll back it up 5 yards. 7-0 the Braves lead. 2:30 left to go here in the first quarter. First and 15 for the Warriors at the St. John Bosco 32. Back to passes Grace. Grace is going to a wide open Dominic Davis, but the pass was over his head and out of bounds. That could have been an easy
Pass
6 that time for Alemany. St. John Bosco
16,
very
Dominic
lucky
Davis.
that pass was way overthrown to the intended receiver, Dominic Davis.
Very, very lucky. Chandler Hawkins was flat-footed, and the receiver ran
Ball
right
spotted
behind
on
him.
the 32-yard line.
And that
Second
receiver
down and
could have caught
15.
the ball in the end zone, and Chandler still would have been at the 15-yard line, both feet planted.
Not too many times you'll see Chandler Hawkins, Seahawk, Mr. Gameface, the Air Force commit, and get beat that badly like he just did there. Very fortunate that was an incomplete pass. 2nd and 15 for Alemany on the St. John Bosco 32. It's a screen pass to the big fullback, and he's going to cut up to the original line of
Pass complete to
scrimmage,
number
gain of
16,
just
Dominic
5 that
Davis.
time, and it'll set up Alemany with a 3rd and 10 at St. John
Tackle made by
Bosco's
number 2,
27-yard line with
Wadou.
under 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. 7-0 St. John Bosco holds the lead.
Yeah, and it seems like these plays that they have, they're very good plays, and it looks like they're going to go for 9-10 yards, but because Bosco's so fast, they slow him down for that time only a gain of 5.
Bosco hasn't really seen the screen pass all that much this year. Saw it on back-to-back plays and did a good job of stopping it. Big 3rd and 10 here early. Alif out of the gun, and he passes, and it's incomplete off the hands of his
Pass
intended
incomplete.
receiver,
Intended for
Brandon
number 4,
Pierre.
Brandon Pierce.
And it'll be a 4th and 10. Interesting decision coming up here for Coach
Ball
Harrington.
is spotted on the
Yeah, it is, and I'd
27-yard
just like to say,
line.
Alemany's
down
making
and 10.
quite a bit of mistakes early. There's a drop pass there, 2 overthrown balls, which very well could have been touchdowns. It's just they need to settle in. I know they're playing the number 1 team in the state right now. They need to settle in and play good football.
5,000 plus on their feet here. Alemany's going to go for it on a 4th and 10. Alif Gray's out of the gun, throws, and it's nowhere near the intended receiver. Incomplete.
Pass is
St. John
incomplete.
Bosco's going to get the ball. Turnover on downs.
Braves will take
I don't
over
like
on
that play
downs.
call at all on a 4th down, but St. John Bosco will take it. Braves take over, leading 7-0, 1:14 left to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, but in that situation there, you're kind of in the dead situation, the dead area, which we'll call it. And that's, you're too close for a punt because it'll go into the end zone, and you're too far for a field goal. So you're in that situation where you kind of need to go for it. That time, Jacob Mariner was able to get pressure and make that ball thrown early, and it was just a bad pass.
1st and 10 now for Bosco. They take over at their own 27. Sean McGrew cuts out of a couple of tackles before he's
Ball
finally
carried by
brought
number
down at the
5, Sean
34.
McGrew.
Gain of 6 that time
Tackle
for
made by
the
number 44, Okalani
superstar
Lagi.
sophomore out of the backfield.
Sean McGrew can just cut on a dime there. He almost
7-yard
broke
gain
a
on the
big
play.
play there.
Brings
Broke
up
for a
2nd
big
down
one
and
when
3.
he did a cutback, but got shoelace tackled, and that saved a touchdown.
2nd and 3, they'll go back to the ground with McGrew, and McGrew's eaten up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain
Ball
that
carried by
time
number
for
5, Sean
number
McGrew.
5 for the Braves. Sean McGrew stopped right there.
Tackle made by number 30, Kevin Summers.
And it'll bring up a
along
3rd
with
and
number
3 for
26,
St. John Bosco.
Alonzo
It'd be big for
Reeves.
Alemany to get a stop in this situation.
It would be very big for Alemany to get a stop in this situation, and especially because Bosco's on their own side of the field.
3rd and 3. This will likely be the last play of the first quarter. It's a screen pass to Shea Fields, and Shea Fields has himself a St. John Bosco first down at
Pass
the 40.
complete to number 1,
But I
Shea
see a flag
Fields.
in the direction of Jaleel Wadud, and Wadud not too happy about the call. I'm pretty sure this one's coming back for holding.
Yeah, the sideline official
Penalty
just
marker on the
signaled to
field.
the ref, and there it is, the signal.
Penalty
Holding,
against
and
the
Jaleel
Braves.
Wadud is not happy. He did not feel he held them, but that's the call, and so Bosco's going to have a very difficult 3rd down now.
I don't blame Jaleel Wadud whatsoever. St. John Bosco's been running that screen pass all year long, and not once have I seen a receiver for the Braves get called for holding. Maybe a little bit of a home cooking call here for Alemany. I didn't see anything on that play.
No, it didn't really look like it, but they might be calling it for a screen holding there, so.
It'll back it up 10 yards. Back to a 3rd and 10 for Bosco. Will they get a snap off before the end of the first quarter? They will. Time is at 0 for the first quarter. Rosen on the run, completes it to Shea Fields. Shea Fields cuts across his man, jukes him. Shea Fields has a first down all the way to the Alemany 49. Mr. USC commit, you got to be kidding me. A bunch of jukes that time. Could have been easily stopped in the backfield for no gain. He juked about 3 or 4 guys, and at the end of one quarter, Bosco leads 7-0, but we're going to continue to talk about that play. Shea Fields, you're ridiculous, my man.
Yeah, that was very good job by Shea Fields. But who I'd like to credit on that play most is Josh Rosen. The pocket was collapsing. He did not get phased. He didn't try to scramble around. He stood in that pocket, trusted his offensive line, and was able to find Shea Fields. Josh Rosen made that play happen. He was in the pocket for 4 or 5 seconds, and it was closing on his right side. And I thought he was going to try to scramble, but he saw Shea Fields in time, and then Shea Fields has just did what Shea Fields has done all year long. So really, Josh Rosen just kept that play alive by not getting flustered in the pocket and finding Shea Fields.
Not even a 3rd and long can slow down the Bosco offense. They'll have a 1st and 10 at the Alemany 49 when we get back. Second quarter action upcoming. The Braves lead 7-0.
Supporting a brighter
Tonight's presentation of St. John Bosco football is brought to you by Tam's Pizzeria. Deliver, call in, and order. Just walk into the corner of Bellflower and Rosecrans for Tam's Pizzeria. They have it all. And highschoolscoreboard.com. All of your updated scores, news, and statistics all at one.
Back here at Bishop Alemany High School, it's 7-0 the Braves lead. Started the second quarter. Chris Sylvester, Adam Ferrister here with you on the national sports station, an affiliate of Spreaker.com. The opening run for the Braves here goes to Sean McGrew. He gains about 9 and has
tackle made by number 26.
St. John Bosco now has a 2nd and 1 at the Alemany 40-yard line.
Just great job by Sean McGrew finding the hole and getting into the space there. Sean McGrew running and, oh, my bad. That's Noss.
Carried by number 8.
Gets the ball and is able to get that first down.
Tackle made by number 41, Michael Hudson.
St. John Bosco has so many weapons out of the backfield, so you never really know who's carrying the ball for the Braves. That time it was Noss. They'll put him in on those 2nd and 3rd and short situations. He's more of a power back. St. John Bosco is a 1st and 10 at the Alemany 32, and it looks like the Warriors jumped off sides. The hard count drawing the defensive line off sides. The official call down on the field isn't offsides. So that'll put it to a 1st and 5 for St. John Bosco inside the Alemany 30. If you're Alemany, a team that's not supposed to win this game, even though it's at home, you can't be making silly mistakes like that, allowing this offense who's already gaining yards on you to any more free yards. As Rosen pressured, goes towards the end zone, and the pass is almost intercepted. Once again, they stuck Colin Samuel on Shea Fields, and Samuel was able to break up the pass. 2nd and 5 here upcoming for St. John Bosco.
Josh Rosen just threw that one up to Shea Fields and said, try to make a play on this one. But the cornerback did a great job turning his head, finding the ball, and able to knock the ball loose, so Shea Fields had no chance of getting the ball.
And 5.
Colin Samuel, after watching a little bit of the tape from Alemany Servite last week, certainly a very physical corner. Knows how to stop the ball when it's in the air. A lot of deflections from Colin Samuel. 5 receivers set here for Rosen on a 2nd and 5. Light drizzle starts to fall here in Mission Hills. Out of the gun comes Josh. Josh throws over the middle, has Shea Fields. Nobody's going to touch him. The USC commit trots into the end zone. Touchdown Braves.
Number 1, Shea Fields.
Shea Fields ran a beautiful route right over the middle. Pass was a little low, but that's Shea Fields for you, able to make it even if it's close to him. Josh Rosen just has to throw it near Shea Fields, and he will get it. That one was a little below the thighs, towards the knees, but Shea Fields, that's why he's going to USC.
Shea Fields, you know, he's got Josh Rosen's back. He really does. So with 10:59 left to go in the second quarter, Bosco strikes for their second score. The extra point from Reed Budrovich is up and good. So 14-0.
The kick is good.
The Braves lead. Josh Rosen looks a lot better than he did last week against Tesoro. I mean, yeah, Josh Rosen passed for over 250 yards at 5 touchdowns, but those were all simple screen passes on the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown tonight.
Alemany
Difficult passes in coverage. He's been able to throw it on the money for the most part to his wide receivers, and that's a good sign for St. John Bosco and the offense moving forward if you can bring back that same Josh Rosen we saw in the preseason slate.
Yeah, Josh Rosen is throwing the ball where it needs to be thrown. On the pass, it wasn't directly on the money at the numbers, but it was where it needed to be thrown. It was in front of Shea Fields where he can catch it and score.
Brandon Pierce.
Credit Josh Rosen
16,
there. And like you were saying,
Davis.
Josh Rosen did not look very good last week. The numbers tell a lie at that point. Yeah, they really tell a lie. But now, looking at the numbers here, they will stand true that Josh Rosen is doing very good.
Josh Rosen on possibly the biggest of stages here in the semifinals tonight. Doing a heck of a job at that quarterback spot. He has his team, St. John Bosco, up 14-0. 10:59 left to go in the second quarter. A line drive kick from Reed Budrovich is touched by Dominic Davis before he lets it bounce into the end zone for a touchback. So third time tonight we'll see Alif Grays and the Alemany offense start at their own 20. What would you like to see from Alemany on this drive to try to get into the end zone? Because I'd say at this point you really need a score.
Just
first down,
finishing.
Warriors.
Just they have to finish their drives. They've done well on pretty much all of them. They've been able to get down to about the 40, and then they kind of putter out right there. So they need to just get that momentum going and be able to finish this drive. Do not make any mistakes
Number 2,
on this now.
They've
made a few mistakes, drop balls and stuff, and that's why they haven't been able to put points on the boards due to those mistakes.
You can't let a team like St. John Bosco have even the slightest of momentum because they'll run away with it. They're already up 14-0 here, 10:59 left to go, second quarter. Under center comes the quarterback, Grays. He is a senior, and it's going to be a play action on the run. He throws, and it's incomplete. Really in the vicinity of no receiver that time. Braves brought the pressure with the defensive line. He could have seen maybe an intentional grounding called there, but no flags are on the field. 2nd and 10, Alemany.
I don't think he was trying to intentionally ground it. I think that the play might have been a receiver was supposed to come over there. Just not a smart play. If you do not see a guy, don't throw that ball. But Ivan Martinez was coming fast at him. There was no way he could really run away. So, yeah, sometimes you might just want to eat those there and just get down and not risk an interception like could have happened on that play.
Chandler Lanou was very close to intercepting that pass. The pass this time from Alif Grays is complete to his top receiver, Deshaun Holmes.
13, Deshaun
Gain of
Holmes.
about 7 that time, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 3 for the Warriors. Alif Grays
Made by number 21,
doesn't have the best
Chandler
quarterback
Hawkins,
mechanics in the world. He just kind of
6,
stands there in the
Christian
pocket and
Holland.
waits for his receivers to run their routes. But I like the little slants Alemany's running, just
Gain
quick
of 8 yards
6-7 yard
play.
gains. But
Brings up
eventually
third
you're going to
down
have to break
and
off
2.
a big play against this Bosco defense if you want a chance to win this game.
Yeah, you're going to have to make many big plays if you get down early.
Already 14-0 Braves, 10:18 left to go in the second quarter. Grays out of the gun, throws over the middle, has his man. That's Brandon Pierre on the catch, and that's Alemany first down to the 43-yard line of the Warriors.
Quentin Tartable.
Bosco might be trying to put maybe a safety a little closer into the middle. They're playing a zone, so they aren't able to run that there. We'll see if maybe Christian Holland, they'll slide him more to the middle there and just playing a little zone there so they aren't able to run those screens. But good job by Alemany. Nice routes that they're running, and I like the play calling here.
I agree with you. I like these little slants over the middle, something St. John Bosco really hasn't seen all season long, and flags fly here. An illegal formation called on the Warriors.
Warriors.
Make this a 1st and 15 instead for Alemany. But, yeah, I do like the play calling here. Little screens and slants, something St. John Bosco hasn't seen. I mean, maybe mixing it up, throwing the defense off guard just a little bit.
Yeah, and Alemany just had a illegal substitution play there, and that is another one of their mistakes that they cannot afford to make.
Repeat. First down.
Can't let the penalties pile up here. If you're Alemany, down 14-0 with 9.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Out of the gun comes Alif Grays. His lone back is Dominic Davids. It's a play action, and Grays throws, and the pass is complete, but just a gain of about 2 that time. Number 4, Brandon Pierce caught the pass. 2nd and 13.
Pass complete to number 6.
Upcoming for
Dominic
Alemany.
Bush.
Make sure you keep it tuned here for the halftime report. We'll have a score for you from that Poly Mater Dei game going on down at Veterans Memorial Stadium. I'm almost as intrigued at that matchup as I am at this one that's sitting about 20 feet of us on the in front of us on the football field. I mean, Poly Mater Dei. Talk about Bosco maybe getting revenge on Poly next week. How about Mater Dei trying to get some revenge on Long Beach Poly?
Both on Poly, and then if Bosco comes out and wins this one, revenge on Bosco too. So they have a lot they can get back at.
Out of the gun comes Grays. He's flushed out to his right, throws on the run, and it's over the head of the intended receiver, Deshaun Holmes.
13,
that time,
Deshaun Holmes.
maybe Holmes could have came down with the pass, but a lot better of coverage by the Air Force commit Chandler Hawkins. Didn't let Deshaun Holmes, the best receiver Alemany has,
On the play,
get too far out in front of him.
Chandler
No, he
Hawkins.
didn't get too far out in front of him. The ball was, he sort of broke off at the route after he saw that the ball was going out of bounds.
14-0. St. John Bosco leads. 8:31 left to go in the second quarter. Alemany has themselves a 3rd and 12 at their own 40-yard line. Both times for Alemany, they've been able to find their ways into St. John Bosco territory. Just haven't been able to put any points up on the board. Grays is going to scramble here. Grays tries to get around the defensive lineman. He has still on his feet. Grays into Bosco territory before he steps out of bounds right around the first down marker. Second time tonight we've seen Grays scramble for a good gain. We'll see where the officials mark this football. It'll be very, very close. And this is definitely a situation where you might send out the chain gang. But how about Alif Grays? What could have been absolutely nothing on that play, he turns it into what's possibly an Alemany first down, awaiting the call on the field.
Yes, and that was just poor tackling by Bosco defense, and a good job by Leaf Gray by making the play on his feet. So good job by Grays, but bad job by the Bosco tackling.
So there's still some more commotion down on the field here. Alemany not too happy about the ball spot. It's about 1.5 feet short of the first down marker as light sprinkles begin to fall down here once again in Mission Hills. Second time tonight, it looks like Alemany will go for it here.
On the 48-yard line, 4th down and
on a 4th down. The fullback is number 44, Okabe Longi. And in the backfield right now is Michael Hudson. It's going to be a pitch play. It's going to be a trick play, and St. John Bosco gobbles it up in the backfield. Chandler Lanou leading the charge for the Braves. There was a snap directly to the fullback, Okalani Longi. He was supposed to pass it. That didn't work out. Tackled in the backfield. St. John Bosco takes over in Alemany territory. Gutsy call that time by the Warriors, and it doesn't pay off.
Gutsy call, and credit Nigel Hale there. He came back. He saw the receiver running,
will take over on
and
down.
he was very
Ball
surprised,
spot on
but
the
he was able to
47-yard
get back,
line.
and that's
4th
why
and 10.
he was not, the running back was not able to throw the ball, was due to that coverage by Nigel Hale.
So St. John Bosco takes over at the Alemany 47. Boy, I don't know about that call. If you're Coach Harrington, you could have pinned Bosco deep. I know you're down 14-0, and it was just a 4th and about 1.5, but it didn't bode well for the Warriors. This play's going nowhere. Josh Rosen on the option is taken down in the backfield, a loss of 3 that time. It's probably why you don't see Josh Rosen run the option all that much.
Yeah, and I don't actually mind that. That was actually a good decision by Josh Rosen. He had a guy coming right for Sean McGrew, and he would have easily could have hurt Sean McGrew if he made him toss that ball, and would have been an even bigger loss. So good job by Rosen. That's eating the sack.
2nd and 12 here, but the run with McGrew, and now McGrew's eaten up in the backfield. Loss of 1. 3rd and 13 coming up for St. John Bosco. Alemany really pinning their ears back and going after the backs of St. John Bosco on this drive.
Yeah, they really are, and they're doing a good job. This defensive line, that's what they needed to do. They needed to get a good push from that defensive line so they can plug up the holes that those big offensive line, those 300-plus offensive linemen open up for Sean McGrew.
It'll be St. John Bosco with the ball at the Alemany 49, a 3rd and 12 for the Braves. They lead 14-0, 7 minutes left to go, second quarter. Rosen's back to pass, faces pressure, throws over the middle, and the pass off the hands of Jared Harrell. Almost intercepted, but it falls to the ground, and Richard Cole, the punter, will be summoned for the first time tonight for St. John Bosco. Great stop by the Warrior defense.
Very good stop by the Warrior defense. They were able to stop the running game, stop the option, and the pass was a little hot to handle there, but could have been caught, but still wouldn't have been a first down either way. So just a good all-around job by the Alemany defense.
R.D. Cole in punt formation for the
Richard Cole back to punt for St. John Bosco, and it's going to be received by Dominic Davis inside the 10. He'll take it out. He cuts across the 15. Davis has room down the sidelines, spins out of a tackle before he's finally taken down at the 28. Pretty good return that time, Dominic Davis, because a lot of times inside the 10-yard line, you'll either let it go or call for a fair catch. Davis, gutsy call, receiving at that time, and it turns out to be a good gamble for Alemany as they'll take over at their own 29.
Yeah, the Bosco special teams there, the punting unit, wasn't able to get back, and so he was able to see that there wasn't anyone close to him, and he was able to make the decision to field it at the 10.
Warriors!
And run with it. Usually you tell your guys, plant your heels on the 10, it goes behind you, let it go. But he there went back a little bit towards the 9 and caught it and brought it out. So good decision, actually.
That was Dominic Davis on the return. Dominic Davis back to work here on the run, but Davis is getting absolutely nothing on a 1st and 10. Gain of just about a half
16,
yard.
Dominic Davis.
That time, Dominic Davis.
Tackle
And it'll bring up a
6,
2nd and 9.
Christian Holland.
Christian Holland made the stop for St. John Bosco. All right, you're Alemany. You got lucky. You gave St. John Bosco the ball in your territory. They weren't able to do anything with it. I'd say don't give them that chance again.
No, you definitely do not want to give that chance again. You want to get something going here. So make that momentum that your defense created and use that for offense. And another flag and another delay of game.
On the field.
Once again, another
Penalty
mistake
against the
that
Warriors.
Alemany cannot afford. And that's the thing about St. John Bosco. Early on in the season, they had a lot of issues with flags and stuff, but they've become a sound team, and they did have a horse collar.
It happens.
It does.
Flags happen. It just happens. It's just football.
Yeah, but these are the delay of games are just quarterbacks not having the play clock in their head.
Yeah, it's tough because there's no visual play clock out for the players to see on the field, but you gotta have a little bit of clock running in your head if you're a quarterback. Alif Graves is just going to scramble with this one, and he's hit hard after just a gain of 1. 3rd and 12 upcoming for Alemany. That's just simply not going to work against the Braves.
Tackle
No,
made by
it's
number
not.
6.
And Christian Holland and Ivan Martinez sandwiched him there. Christian Holland made a stop. Ivan Martinez flushed him out of the pocket. That man has some speed on him for such a big boy. And Christian Holland was able to stop him, and Ivan came right back and hit him right from behind.
Did you catch the article in the OC Register about Ivan? That was
spot on the
I advise you, whoever's listening right now, I advise all the listeners to go check that out at some point. A great article on Ivan Martinez and his journey. OCRegister.com. I'm sure you can find that article. It's a 3rd and 13 here. The pass is complete to Brandon Pierce before he's absolutely lit up by Christian Holland short of the first down marker. And yeah, it'll be a 4th and short here, but you got to think you got to punt if you're Alemany.
And we see the punting unit come on now. And those cornerbacks are breaking off their routes when they see the ball, and it's just smart football IQ by the cornerbacks and D-backs to know where the ball is going, and you can branch off from your receiver and go attack that football and leave it for a minimum gain, which is why Alemany has a 4th down instead of a 1st down.
Great job by the senior linebacker, Christian Holland, closing out on that one. The punt is away from the punter, Carlos Garrido. Back to receive his Wadood, and he'll call for a fair catch at the 26. So that's where Rosen and the offense will take over with 4:22 left to go in this first half. 14-0 the Braves lead. They move so quickly that they might even have time to tack on 2 more scores by the time we reach halftime here at Alemany.
First down, Braves.
Yeah, they possibly, but they want to just focus right here on getting the points. They'd love to have a 21-0 lead going into half, a 3-possession game. That's
Number
big because
3,
Alemany right now,
Josh
14-0. That is not bad, especially when the team last week put up 34 points before halftime.
It's going to be Sean McGrew here, the lone back, getting the carry for St. John Bosco. He'll carry it out for
Ball
a
carried
good
by
gain of
number
about
5,
8
Sean McGrew.
to the 35-yard line.
Tackle made
So
by
a 2nd and 8
44,
upcoming here for St.
Alemany
John Bosco. Good mix of running pass tonight so far for the offense.
Yeah, it has been. They've
Ball
really
spot on
been
the
mixing it up
35-yard
here,
line.
and that
Second
shows
down
it's been
and
very
1.
productive. But Alemany's defense has done very well of stopping the run and limiting the pass game, and I don't think anyone will be able to stop
marker on
the
the
pass
field.
game with
Penalty
2
against the Warriors.
D1 guys, one committed to SC, one who could commit to either USC or UCLA. You just don't have the defensive backs and the personnel to guard both of them at the same time.
Well, it was going to be a 2nd and 2 for St. John Bosco. Alemany hopped off sides. It's a 1st and 10 for the Braves. It's going to be Rosen keeping. Rosen has himself room inside Alemany territory before he busts over in Alemany territory to the Warrior 45-yard line. Boy, Josh Rosen, who doesn't like contact all that much, he's not a running quarterback, just barreled over the defender that time. A flag did fly in late, and this one might be coming back, and it looks like it will.
Penalty against the Braves.
Not sure what the call was that time. I think it was a holding call against St. John Bosco. There was no official signal down on the field. Now there is. It is a holding call on the Braves. So wipe out that big run that Rosen had. It'll be 1st and 11 here. So they'll give him some yards off that run. 1st and 11 for the Braves. They're at their own 39. Screen pass to Wadoud, and Jaleel
intended for number 2.
Dropped the football, something you rarely see from him.
Yeah, you rarely see that. And going back to that play with Josh Rosen, Josh doesn't really like contact, as we said, but he barreled over into that guy to get that first down. He just put his shoulder down and got cracked it.
On the 39-yard line. 2nd down.
Josh Rosen, that was quite a hit. Tim Tebow-esque of Josh Rosen. Not so many times we compare Josh Rosen to a quarterback like Tim Tebow, but that was very Tim Tebow-esque on that run from Josh Rosen. 2nd and 12. Rosen passes, and it's incomplete, intended for Shea Fields.
Intended for number 1, Shea Fields.
Upcoming now for St. John Bosco, a 3rd and 11. 3:17 left to go, second quarter. 14-0 the Braves lead. If you can force Bosco to punt here,
Ball
if you're Alemany, you can
39-yard line.
at least go into half down 14-0, maybe down 14-7 if you can get down the field quickly against the Braves defense.
14-0 would be very good, and even if you do get some points, that's great. But a 14-0 is just a big win for them.
3rd and 11 here for the Braves. They're at their own 39. Out of the gun comes Rosen. It's going to be a draw to McGrew. McGrew, a big hole up the middle. Sean McGrew into Alemany territory, still on his feet, and he's finally taken down at the 45-yard line. Gain of 16. Smart play call. Love the play call that time by Chad Johnson, and it sets up a 1st and 10 for Bosco in Alemany territory.
That was what you think would be an obvious pass situation, and I like the draw. So Rosen takes a step back, so it looks like he's going to pass. You hand it off to the explosive Sean McGrew, and he is able to get those 13 yards that'll get you a first down.
It's now Noss in the backfield for the Braves, and he gets the carry. About a gain of 4 that time. Boy, Sean McGrew, not the biggest of guys in the world, and I think we've made that apparent throughout our broadcast throughout the season. But when he sees an open seam, he's gone. I mean, there's a reason they call him Lightning McGrew. He's like a lightning bolt out there.
And we first saw that in that Chandler game. We just keep going back to that game when we were just dumbfounded by that speed.
Play action. Angelo Quintero receives the pass from Josh Rosen and Quintero with room down the sideline. Scoots all the way inside the 30-yard line of the Warriors. Love the play call once again by Chad Johnson. A play action dump off to the tight end. Plenty of room for Quintero to bust down the sidelines that time. And St. John Bosco is going to have the ball all the way at the Alemany 15-yard line. Huge gain that time from the tight end Quintero.
Good job in using all your personnel. You're not just sticking to Shea Fields, Jaleel Wadood, and Sean McGrew, and then even Nos. You're using your tight end, Angelo Quintero, and who was able to be unguarded, because you usually don't think that he'd get the ball too much, but he did.
Angelo Quintero's become a huge asset to this offense, replacing Nick Lehman, who graduated last year. It was going to be hard for Coach Negro to replace Lehman, who's now playing football at Long Beach City College. It's a 2nd and 3 here for the Braves. Handoff to Nos. Nos has a seam up the sidelines. Nos is into the end zone for a touchdown, but this one very well might be coming back
on the field
as there is a penalty marker down, and this one could once again be holding, and sure enough, it is holding. The offensive line of St. John Bosco not too happy about these holding calls early on in the game, simply because I don't remember the last time I've seen St. John Bosco's offensive line get called for a holding penalty.
No, they've been doing the same stuff they do, and just the refs are calling holding. It's not biased or anything. I don't suspect any of that. It's just the different refs. And these are different refs due to CIF rules and all that. So they're just calling different plays. Calling different penalties, excuse me.
2nd and 9 now for Bosco at the Alemany 14. McGrew's back into the game at that running back spot. It's a 3-receiver set to the Braves. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Handoff goes back to Sean McGrew. McGrew cups up the middle, and he dives inside the 10-yard line.
By number 5, Sean McGrew.
About a gain of 7 that time. It'll be very close to the first down marker. It'll be a 3rd and short.
Number 26,
so it's going to be Alemany needing a stop here to try to force St. John Bosco to possibly kick a field goal. They'll go with Nos, and the big power back of the Braves barrels his way inside the 5. It's going to be 1st and goal for St. John Bosco. 14-0. The Braves lead 1:10 left to go here in the first half. But here's St. John Bosco threatening once again. They're at the Alemany 2 after that first down run from Nos. Rosen out of the gun. He's got Quintero in the backfield with him to help out with blocking. 3-receiver set. They'll go back to Nos on the ground. Nos is towards the goal line, and he's in. Touchdown, Braves. It took a while to see if Nos was across the goal line, but the call on the field is a touchdown. And with 58 seconds left to go here in the first half from Bishop Alemany High School, St. John Bosco adds a much-needed score. They can sit back and breathe a little bit easier. It's 20-0 pending the extra point.
When we brought Nos up and interviewed him, he talked about how he just likes to barrel guys because it makes his offensive line happy. That time he made his quarterback happy, who as soon as he heard the helmets cracking, he
number 41,
took off his straps and just went and gave Nos a big hug. And the kick from Breed Budrovich is up and good, so it is 21. But like I was saying, Josh Rosen was just ecstatic hearing that, and he loves him, and the rest of the team just loves it when Nos is able to barrel over guys and get into the end zone.
Certainly just a luxury to have, and we say it every single game. We're a broken record here on national sports, but the depth that St. John Bosco has, that's the difference. That's the biggest difference between this year's team and last year's team. And I think another thing that's really fueled St. John Bosco here tonight is what happened in the semifinal game last year to Long Beach Poly. I mean, up 21-0, you still got a whole half of football left to be played, but the Braves not showing any signs of letting up, and they're looking like that's not going to happen. A loss in the semifinals, that's just not going to happen here tonight. And St. John Bosco absolutely has to have that attitude if they want to hold on to this lead and go play at Angel Stadium next Saturday night.
16,
yes, that's the attitude they have to have, and Alemany has to have the attitude that only 21 points at this point. It's still a very doable game. They just need to play sound football, which they haven't thus far.
21-0 Braves. 58 seconds remain here in the second quarter. Reed Budrovich to kick it off, and it's into the end zone for a touchback. So if you're Alif Grays here, you got to
Result
work
of the
in
kick
somewhat
is
of
a
a 2-minute
touchback.
offense,
Ball
which
will be spotted on the 20-yard line.
the Warriors
First
are
down,
certainly
Warriors.
capable of doing, but against this Bosco defense, it's going to be hard to get big plays through the air.
Yeah, you're just going to want to know whether they just try to run the clock out here and try not to give the ball
Max
back
Preps
to
is a
Bosco,
proud
or
sponsor
they're going
and
to try to
official
get some points up
photographer
on the
of
board.
CIF.
So we'll see
View
what they
and
do
purchase
here
high-quality
when
action photos from today's
Alemany
event
offense
by
comes
visiting
out.
MathPrep.com.
21-0, the Braves leading the
Now,
Warriors of
global
Alemany
calls
High
for
School
access
here
scores,
at Bishop
roster
Alemany
schedules,
High School in
leaderboards,
Mission
and
Hills,
more.
California, just past the city of Los Angeles. It's a 5-receiver set here for Grays, and the pass is complete. That's number 16, Dominic Davis, the running back on the reception before he's hit
Pass
hard.
complete to number 16,
Just a gain
Dominic
of 5.
Davis.
I mean, I don't know if that's just how
Tackle made
Alemany's
by number
offense
44,
runs, but
Malik Dorton.
the slants are nice and all
Number
if you're
6,
trying to put
Christian
together
Holland.
a drive that eats up clock. But now the clock under 30 seconds left to go in the first half. Those plays just aren't going to work. Alif Grays this time is just going to step up and scramble with it. Tries to juke a tackler before he's pushed out of bounds by Chandler
Number 2,
Hawkins.
Alif Grays with the
Just a gain of
quarterback
2
keeper.
that time, and 25
Pushed out of
seconds left to
bounds
go.
by number 21, Chandler
St. John
Hawkins.
Bosco, they have their 3 timeouts. If they can get a stop here on 3rd down, you might think that Jason Negro, with how fast St. John Bosco's offense moves, they might have another crack at the football.
They could. That's up to Jason Negro if he wants to do that there, but
Ball
we'll
spot
just
on
see.
the
It's
27-yard
25
line.
seconds.
3rd down
but
and 2.
Right now it's 3rd down for Alemany, and they need to get a conversion here.
Out of the gun comes Alif Grays, like he's been for the majority of the night. He has a wide open Dominic Davis. That's a 1st down for the Warriors. He's pushed out of bounds by
Complete to
Nigel
number 16,
Hale
Dominic Davis.
with 19 seconds left, and a flag flies in late.
Penalty
Boy,
marker on the field.
I don't know about that call. I mean, Nigel Hale, the Arizona commit, gave him a little bit of a
Penalty
shove,
against
but
the Braves.
enough for a flag that time? I'm not too sure about that call.
No, and I see Nigel was saying that the receiver gave him a stiff arm as he's going out of bounds, and so Nigel pushed him off, and that's what got called, and that's what he's telling the ref right now. And so I don't necessarily agree with that call, but that is what the call is.
48-yard line. Good for a Warriors first
A
down.
gift for the Warriors here. They now have the ball at the St. John Bosco 48. 19.6 seconds to get into the end zone to try to make this thing a little bit closer as we head into the half. Right now, St. John Bosco up on top 21-0. Out of the gun comes Grays. Grays flushed out to his right, throws on the run, and the pass is intercepted. Jaleel Wadood with his
Pass intercepted
4th
by number
interception
2,
of the season.
Jaleel Wadood.
And with 12.8 seconds left to go here in the first half from Bishop Alemany High School, St. John Bosco already leading 21-0. Might be Hail Mary time before the end of the half.
Either Hail Mary or just take a knee.
Ball
Maybe
spotted on the
a knee might
32-yard
be
line.
smarter, but
First down,
I'm not
Braves.
Jason Negro, and Jason Negro is a pretty aggressive play caller. So I'd expect more of just either a run or knee, and it looks like they're going into a kneel down right here, yeah. And they'll just take that 21-0 halftime lead. But there is a timeout by Jason Negro.
Well, I'm not too sure about that. You take a knee and then you call a timeout. Jason Negro livid with his team. He
Timeout on the field.
comes out to around
Timeout charge to the Braves.
where the huddle up is, towards the center of the field. I think that was supposed to be a trick play because they put Shea Fields in the backfield on the kneel down that time. Maybe that was supposed to be a trick kneel down, or I don't know what. But for Jason Negro to come out to the middle of the field as furious as he was, he must not have been too happy about that. Another kneel once again here by Rosen, and that's how we're going to go into the locker room as the clock winds down here in the first half
And
from
that's the end of
Bishop
the first
Alemany
half
High
with the
School.
score.
St. John Bosco up on top in the
21.
semifinal game, 21-0. Stay
Warriors,
tuned for the high school
0.
scoreboard. Halftime report will get you updated on that Poly Mater Day game. Take a look at the first half stats and what we can expect from the second half between St. John Bosco and Alemany. 21-0. The Braves up on top. It's halftime from Bishop Alemany High School.
Tonight's presentation of St. John Bosco football is brought to you by Tam's Pizzeria. Deliver, call in, and order. Just walk into the corner of Bellflower and Rosecrans for Tam's Pizzeria. They have it all. And highschoolscoreboard.com. All of your updated scores, news, and statistics all at one place. To get the app and registration, log on at highschoolscoreboard.com.
Live on the campus of St. John Bosco High School in Bellflower, California, it's week 2 of Trinity League football as the Orange Lutheran Lancers are in town. It's Jordan Harris cutting across the field. It's inside the 5. Jordan Harris has a St. John Bosco touchdown.
Very, very good awareness by Harris getting into the open field and knowing where the gaps were in the field.
It's going to be tallied as 49 yards, but he ran about 149 yards on that play. A fantastic cut across the field. He eluded about the whole football team.
You are listening to a special presentation of National Sports. St. John Bosco football with Nick Rice, Adam Ferrister, and Chris Sylvester.
Welcome to a new kind of tension all across the alien nation, where everything isn't meant to be okay. Television dreams of tomorrow. We're not the ones meant to follow, formatting out to our youth.
We're here at halftime where St. John Bosco leads the Alemany Warriors 21-0. We'll have halftime stats coming up along with scores from the Servite Mater Dei game, Poly Mater Dei game, which is a very interesting game there, very big. And the winner of that one over there at Vet Stadium will be playing the winner of Alemany Bosco.
Tonight's presentation of St. John Bosco football is brought to you by Tam's Pizzeria. Deliver, call in, and order. Just walk into the corner of Bellflower and Rosecrans for Tam's Pizzeria. They have it all. And highschoolscoreboard.com. All of your updated scores, news, and statistics all at one place. To get the app and registration, log on at highschoolscoreboard.com. Catch every high school game this season with the High School Scoreboard app along with @St. John Bosco on Twitter as well. Now back to Bosco football with Chris Sylvester and Nick Rice. Is your hometown team away for the playoffs this week? Are you looking for a new way to keep tabs on any and all of your favorite ball clubs playing Friday nights? If the answer is yes, we have an extremely easy way for you and all of your friends to keep track of every high school team in the nation. Download the High School Scoreboard app, HS Scoreboard. This application comes with scores, stats, and stories from every team thanks to our statisticians live at every stadium, providing you with play-by-play action of the game you couldn't make it to. Spend your Friday night having fun and doing what you waited all week to get done. Let us do the dirty work and you can still be at the stadium on your phone. Download the app, High School Scoreboard. It's available for all smartphones and is the best 99 cents you will ever spend. Less than $1. That's it. High School Scoreboard. The app gives you access to features on Instagram as well. High School Scoreboard. What are you waiting for? Download it now. Tam's Pizzeria is a proud sponsor of the St. John Bosco Football Radio Network. Tam's has it all. Pizza, wings, burgers, and more. Say Braves #1 when you order any specialty pizza and receive $2 off. Call in an order at 562-925-7700. Again, 562-925-7700. Walk-ins are always welcome as Tams is located on the corner of Bellflower and Rosecrans. Tams Pizzeria. They have it all.
Here back at the Alemany St. John Bosco football game. St. John Bosco leads 21-0. St. John Bosco has really dominated on offense thus far. Alemany defense really hasn't had a chance to stop Bosco. They've just done what Bosco's done all year long, and that's make explosive plays. Alemany offense has had some spark, but they haven't been able to produce points on the board. They've gotten down to the Bosco 30 multiple times, but each time they have penalties that bring them back and bring them out of scoring range, and that's the biggest thing for Alemany right now is just the penalties they have right now. If they can get down and not make so many penalties, they have a very good shot at beating Bosco. They played very well so far, and it hasn't been able to show on the scoreboard. And we're here getting an update from Vet Stadium where Long Beach Poly Jackrabbits are playing the Mater Dei Monarchs, and it is in the second quarter. Mater Dei is leading 6-0. Mater Dei was able to score a touchdown but missed the extra point, so the score of that game is 6-0.
How about that? 6-0. And what point are we in that ball game?
We're in the second quarter of that game right now.
Second quarter between Long Beach Poly and Mater Dei down at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Mater Dei 6-0 lead. Sound a low-scoring game. Sound a little bit like last year between Bosco and Poly. I mean, the fog might the fog be back at Veterans Memorial Stadium?
Hopefully not. No, that was the biggest thing there. So it's Mater Dei. Bosco really didn't struggle against them, and they're doing very well against the Long Beach Poly Jackrabbits, who played very well in the playoff games up until this point. And while it's still early, it's surprising to see Mater Dei up right now. But then again, Mater Dei did beat Mission Viejo, who was the number one seed. Many of us predicted it would go 1-2, meaning St. John Bosco would be playing Mission Viejo at Angel Stadium. But now, St. John Bosco up 21 now. If they can hang on to this lead and go to Angel Stadium, right now it looks like if Mater Dei can hold on to this lead, we'll be playing them for another Trinity League rematch. But it's 6-0, and Poly has come back. We saw him come back against Orange Lutheran.
I mean, first of all, 6-0 in any game is, you could come back from 6-0 with .001 seconds left, right? And I mean, for it to be in the second quarter, and for it to be Long Beach Poly of all people, I mean, we saw what they did to we saw what they did to Orange Lutheran when Orange Lutheran thought they had that game wrapped up a couple of weeks ago at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Same thing goes here for Mater Dei. I still think Poly is going to come back at some point in that game, but boy, Bosco Mater Dei in the CIF Championship, would that just not solidify the Trinity League as the best in all of California? I mean, for two teams from a league to make it this far to the semifinals is one thing, but for two teams to link up in the championship, I mean, if that doesn't show you how great the Trinity League is, I don't know what will.
And if Mater Dei is able to win, it shows how good Bosco is, because Bosco was able to dominate Mater Dei. And now if Mater Dei can beat Poly, if they do happen to do that, all hypothetical at this point, it'll show that Mater Dei, I feel, is a different team, though, right now. They had made vast improvements so far in their game, and so they aren't necessarily the same team that Bosco saw when they did play them, but still, they were able to beat that same team.
Certainly, it would be an interesting matchup either way. Whether it's, if St. John, of course, we still got to. St. John Bosco's up 21-0 here at the half on the road, and it is St. John Bosco. Not too many times they're even going to let up 21 points, and not to get off topic here. I know we're talking about the possibilities of next week, but you have a 21-0 St. John Bosco lead at the half. For Alemany to come back in this game, I don't know. What's it going to, a miracle? Dare I say it takes a miracle for Alemany to come back in this game?
No, it just takes sound football from Alemany right now. It's not a miracle because Alemany is still a very good football team, and they didn't get here by accident, like I said before. Neither St. John Bosco nor Alemany got here by accident. You have to work every day to get here. And so Alemany does have the potential to come back, but they are going to have to fight out of the 21-0 hole they dug themselves into, which for some teams might not be a lot, but when you're playing the number one team in the state, it's 21-0 is pretty big and pretty hard to come back, especially when, as Chandler Lanou described the Bosco, a second-half team. If you're playing a second-half team and already down 21-0, that puts you in another hole.
Certainly it's no fun being down 21-0 in any situation, but against this St. John Bosco team, it's almost like a game over stamp in some senses. Well, as they sing happy birthday here at Alemany High School, we'll head to a commercial break. We'll get you caught up with the first half stats and take a couple glances at some other scores going around in the CIF Southern section right now. We got a big game between St. Francis and Sarah, and we have a surprising score from that game to get you caught up on when we get back. 21-0 St. John Bosco has cruised themselves to a 21-0 halftime lead over the Alemany Warriors here in Mission Hills, California. Come on back for a look ahead to the second half and a stat checkup from the first half of action. 21-0 the Braves lead.
Tam's Pizzeria is a proud sponsor of the St. John Bosco Football Radio Network. Tam's has it all: pizza, wings, burgers, and more. Say Braves #1 when you order any specialty pizza and receive $2 off. Call in and order at 562-925-7700. Again, 562-925-7700. Walk-ins are always welcome as Tam's is located on the corner of Bellflower and Rosecrans. Tam's Pizzeria. They have it all. Is your hometown team away for the playoffs this week? Are you looking for a new way to keep tabs on any and all of your favorite ball clubs playing Friday nights? If the answer is yes, we have an extremely easy way for you and all of your friends to keep track of every high school team in the nation. Download the High School Scoreboard app, HS Scoreboard. This application comes with scores, stats, and stories from every team thanks to our statisticians live at every stadium, providing you with play-by-play action of the game you couldn't make it to. Spend your Friday night having fun, doing what you waited all week to get done. Let us do the dirty work, and you can still be at the stadium on your phone. Download the app, High School Scoreboard. It's available for all smartphones and is the best 99 cents you will ever spend. Less than $1. That's it. High School Scoreboard. The app gives you access to features on Instagram as well. High School Scoreboard. What are you waiting for? Download it now.
Welcome back into the High School Scoreboard halftime report here from Bishop Alemany High School. The St. John Bosco Braves in the CIF Pac-5 semifinals, leading the Warriors of Alemany High School 21-0 at the half. As we take a look around the CIF Southern section for scores. Of course, Modern Day, like we just mentioned a few moments ago, leading Long Beach Poly right now 6-0 in the second quarter down at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Another score courtesy of the high school scoreboard app, of course. Another score that pops out to me particularly, and if you're just looking over these Southern Section scores, it definitely pops out to yourself as well. How about Sarah, the second-ranked team in the state of California, trailing at the half against St. Francis, a team they beat 35-21 a couple of weeks ago. But, St. Francis in that game was tied 21-21 with Sarah before they pulled away in the fourth quarter. So, we knew coming into this game between St. Francis and Sarah that, it'd certainly be somewhat of a competition for Sarah, but for St. Francis to absolutely shut down the Gardena Sarah offensive attack, which includes a boatload of athletes, including Adoree Jackson, who you might have heard of, a fine athlete who plays wide receiver and corner and running back as well for Sarah. That's a very surprising score as we go to the half. 7-0 St. Francis over Sarah, so that's certainly something to watch out for as well. De La Salle, they're taking care of business up north. They're up 43-19 over Valencia up north in Northern California. Look at the possibilities if St. John Bosco wins this game. There's a chance that they see a remarkable slate of either Poly or Mater Dei, Gardena Sarah, and De La Salle in 3 consecutive weeks. And it's basically like the Trinity League all over again. St. John Bosco, they were able to get through that rural league slate this year once again, but with the legs tiring down, this will be the 13th game for the Braves if they can, in fact, hold on to this 21-0 lead they have at the half. It's going to be a tough ride the next 3 weeks, but certainly that's what this team's built for. D1 prospects everywhere on the St. John Bosco sidelines, and coming into the season, Jason Negro wanted nothing less than a state championship, and I'm sure his feelings stand the same way as of right now. St. John Bosco, though, taking care of business first and foremost tonight against Alemany. 21-0, they lead at the half. When we come back, we'll have the second half of action for you from Bishop Alemany High School. The Braves up on top, 21-0. They lead the Warriors.
Tam's Pizzeria is a proud sponsor of the St. John Bosco Football Radio Network. Tam's has it all: pizza, wings, burgers, and more. Say Braves #1 when you order any specialty pizza and receive $2 off. Call in and order at 562-925-7700. Again, 562-925-7700. Walk-ins are always welcome as Tam's is located on the corner of Bellflower and Rosecrans. Tam's Pizzeria. They have it all.
Live on the campus of St. John Bosco High School in Bellflower, California, it's week 2 of Trinity League football as the Orange Lutheran Lancers are in town. It's Jordan Harris cutting across the field. It's inside the 5. Jordan Harris has a St. John Bosco touchdown.
Very, very good awareness by Harris, getting into the open field and knowing where the gaps were in the field.
It's going to be tallied as 49 yards, but he ran about 149 yards on that play. A fantastic cut across the field. He eluded about the whole football team.
You are listening to a special presentation of National Sports. St. John Bosco football with Nick Rice, Adam Ferrister, and Chris Sylvester.
Welcome to a new kind of tension all across the alien nation, where everything isn't meant to be okay. Television dreams of tomorrow. We're not the ones meant to follow, for that's enough to argue. Hey!
Back here at Bishop Alemany High School, just about set to start the second half of action between St. John Bosco and Alemany. Both teams are out of the locker room, huddled up, getting ready to start this second half of action. In the first half, St. John Bosco dominating the time of possession and also dominating the scoreboard. 21-0. The Braves up on top right now. The scoring summary for St. John Bosco: Anesi with a 2-yard run, a 25-yard pass from Josh Rosen to Shea Fields, and a 10-yard pass from Josh Rosen to Jaleel Wadood. That's been the scoring so far for St. John Bosco.
Alemany Warriors!
For Alemany, it's not like they've had all that much of trouble moving the football against the St. John Bosco defense. That's not the problem. The problem is getting into the end zone. I can remember countless times throughout the first half where Alemany was in St. John Bosco territory, and they just have to get into the end zone if they want a chance to not only win this game and come back and win this game, but also to make the scoreboard look a little bit prettier. I mean, it's 21-0. The away team's leading on your home scoreboard. I mean, if you're Alemany, you want to at least get into the end zone a couple of times here tonight, but St. John Bosco's defense showing no mercy.
No, they haven't shown any mercy so far, and I don't expect that they will. I think they'll still play their same exact game. I mean, we saw they showed absolutely no mercy to Tesoro. They just absolutely killed them, and I don't expect to see St. John Bosco defense let up at all. I think that they'll play just as strong, if not stronger, than they did in the first half.
The Braves are a second-half team, and that's what all of their players will tell you.
Deep to receive for the Braves.
21-0 they lead, and well, there's the benefit of deferring in the first half. They receive it here to start. They're already up 21 points, and they have a chance to make this a four-possession game if they can score on this drive. First time tonight, we're going to see Alemany kicking off. Carlos Garrido, the kicker for the Warriors, setting to boot this one away. And from what we know about Carlos Garrido, he has a pretty good leg as well. He handles everything in the kicking game for Alemany. He punts it and kicks it off and kicks field goals and extra points. Just about set to start the second half from Bishop Alemany High School, 21-0. The Braves hold the lead. It's a high kick, and it's going to be received right at the 1-yard line. It's Jaleel Wadoud taking it out of the end zone. Wadoud has one touchdown on a kick return this year, but this time he'll be spun down at the 22-yard line. So a decent return that time from Jaleel, but considering the athlete that Jaleel Wadoud is, a great job by Alemany special teams at limiting the game.
Anytime you can limit Jaleel Wadoud to a limited amount of yards, then that's a productive play there, especially for special teams, because Jaleel is so explosive on special teams, whether it be if he's back there for the punt return or kick return.
First and 10 for the Braves. They're at their own 22. Pistol set. Play action. It's the screen pass. First time we've seen it all night. And Jaleel Wadoud is loose. Jaleel Wadoud all the way to the 45-yard line. Gain of 23. First and 10 St. John Bosco. I was wondering why we hadn't seen the screen pass all night from the Braves. We see it here on the first play of the second half, and it goes for 23 yards.
I think why we haven't seen it was because Sean McGrew in the run has been working so much.
Don't fix what isn't broke, right? Exactly. It keeps working for St. John Bosco. They'll stick with it. They started with the screen pass here. They're now at the Alemany 45. Sean McGrew with the carry. He gets to the outside and is out of bounds at the 47-yard line. But a penalty marker is down, and that's about the third or fourth time tonight we've seen a holding penalty against St. John Bosco, which I assume it's going to be, and sure enough it is. A holding penalty against St. John Bosco. Negro doesn't like the call. Don't blame him at all. We're just simply not used to holding penalties against this tremendous offensive line that St. John Bosco brings to the table.
I'm not putting down Alemany defensive line whatsoever, but a lot of times if a referee sees a defensive lineman like that, especially this late in the season getting dominated, a lot of times they'll call it, especially Damian Mama looked like he was touching his guy on the ground, but he wasn't getting up, so I think that's why they called it a holding.
Instead, it's going to be a first and long here for the Braves, and Sean McGrew has himself a seam.
By number 5, Sean McGrew.
Good gain there to the Alemany 46, about a gain of 15 that time for Sean. It'll be a second and short for St. John Bosco. Sean McGrew, when he sees that seam, he's almost unstoppable. He's like a lightning bolt. He's like a torpedo out of the backfield. You like that, a torpedo? Let's compare Sean McGrew. He's a torpedo. It's going to be a screen pass out here to Jaleel Wadoud. Wadoud has himself a first down. He's still on his feet inside the 30, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 29. First and 10 for the Braves. When St. John Bosco can start dominating on that screen pass, it's pretty much in the books.
Yeah, if they keep playing the way they're playing now.
Ball
But
spot on the
Alemany's
31
offense
yard
hasn't
line.
come
First
out
down,
on the field
Braves.
yet, so we can't count them out just yet. We'll see if that offense has made any adjustments when they come on the field after Josh Rosen and this dominant Braves offense leave.
The drive started for the Braves at their own 22. Now Bosco at the Alemany 30, up 21-0, 10:35 left to go third quarter. Josh Rosen's playing some outstanding football at the quarterback position tonight. As he has a play action here, faces pressure, throws to Wadood. Wadood catches it. Wadood's taken down inside the 15.
Pass
Ball's
complete to
on the
number 2.
ground. But
Jaleel Wadood.
they say Wadood was down before the ball popped loose. Just
Tackle made by
momentarily,
number
I was about to say,
13, Deshaun
Jaleel
Holmes.
Wadood doesn't fumble the football.
Yeah, he landed right on his head there, and I think that's what caused him to lose the football. And when your head does hit the ground, when the crown of your head hits the ground, then you are down.
21-0 the Braves lead there
Ball spotted on the
in the
14-yard
Alemany
line.
red zone
First
for the
down,
fourth
Braves.
time here tonight. 1st and 10 for Bosco at the Alemany 14. Josh Rosen, Sean McGrew piloting this drive for the Braves. Out of the gun comes Rosen. It's a little hitch pattern back to Wadood. Wadood's loose to the outside, and nobody's going to get him. He trots into the end zone for his second touchdown of the
Pass
night.
complete to number 2, Jaleel Wadood.
Jaleel Wadood, the 4-star athlete, the senior. On a little hitch pattern, comes back to the football, jukes a couple guys, gets to the outside, and goes into the end zone untouched. And with 9:56 left to go in the third quarter,
Good for a Braves
St. John Bosco's
touchdown.
an extra point away from making this a 28-0 ball game.
Yes, they are, and that's the sort of plays we've been seeing all year from Bosco. And that's why we were a little surprised in the first half why we hadn't seen it. But now Negro pulls it out, and Reed
And the
Budrovich
extra
does make
point
this
is
a
good.
28-0 game. St. John Bosco leads with 9 minutes and 56 seconds left in the third quarter. But like I was saying, we usually didn't see the sort of run and then some slant type offense in the first half from Bosco, but we do see the traditional, as we call it, sort of quick routes and letting the receivers
Deep
do all the
receiver
work.
for the Warriors.
And
Number 4,
that's what we
Brandon
saw right
Pierce.
there. And Jaleel
And number
did
16,
the work there
Dominic Davis.
and was able to get into the end zone. And that was just, those are plays made by the receivers blocking and the receivers creating their own space and getting open.
Well, in Jason Negro's
Kicking off
time
for the Braves, number
coaching high
18.
school football, he's coached a lot of
Reed
great
Budrovich.
athletes, and most notably here at St. John Bosco, you look to the past guys like Dallas Bruce and Bryce Treggs, Charles Redd, Devontae Young. The list goes on of the fantastic athletes that Jason Negro's had here at St. John Bosco, but there's a reason why Jason Negro a couple of weeks ago called Jaleel Wadood the best athlete he's ever coached at the high school level.
Yeah, and it definitely shows. Jaleel Wadood, Jason Negro, like you said, coached many D1 athletes, and he calls Jaleel the best one he's ever coached, and that just shows how good Jaleel Wadood is. You see, and there's all-stars, so many all-stars on this team right now, and for him to say that, it really shows how much he respects Jaleel Wadood as an athlete.
28-0, the Braves lead, 9:56 left to go in the third quarter. Alif Grays will take over at the 20-yard line after Reed Budrovich kicked that one back into the end zone, his 5th touchback of the night. So a familiar spot for the Alemany offense. They'll take over at their own 20. Out of the gun comes Grays. The lone back is Davis, so motion Davis from left to right. It's an option pitch to Davis. Dominic Davis cuts across the 25, and Dominic Davis is loose to the 50, the 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown to Alemany.
16, Dominic Davis. Good for a Warrior.
80 yards
Touchdown.
to the end zone. A simple pitch from Alif Grays to Dominic Davies, and it's not over yet. 80 yards to the house.
Yeah, that was very good run by Alemany, and that's, I think, the spark they needed to keep this going. We'll see if they can use this momentum to stop St. John Bosco's offense, because St. John Bosco's offense when you get that momentum on offense from that score, they seem to just take the wind out of that momentum when they just come back and score
Number 19,
right back.
Torito to attempt
So
the
it's
extra point.
what Alemany's defense need to do is stop it so the offense can keep this momentum going and lead that into more points.
The kick on the way, up and good from
And
Carlos
the kick is good.
Garrido. So with
9 minutes,
9:41 left to go in the third quarter,
St. John Bosco
a
Braves,
simple
28.
pitch play gets Alemany on the
Alemany
scoreboard.
Warriors,
28-7, the Braves lead here at Alemany High School.
Tam's Pizzeria is a proud sponsor of the St. John Bosco Football Radio Network. Tam's has it all: pizza, wings, burgers, and more. Say Braves #1 when you order any specialty pizza and receive $2 off. Call in and order at 562-925-7700. Again, 562-925-7700. Walk-ins are always welcome as Tam's is located on the corner of Bellflower and Rosecrans. Tam's Pizzeria. They have it all.
Back here at Alemany High School, 9:41 left to go, third quarter. The Braves lead the Alemany Warriors, the home team tonight, 28-7. Alemany fresh off of a one-play, 80-yard drive. It's going to be a little kick in the air here, and it's going to be intended for an onside recovery, but I believe St. John Bosco fell on it, and sure enough, they did. That was kind of a mix between a pooch kick and an onside kick. That was a case where I think Coach Harrington didn't want Jaleel Wadoud or Shea Fields to have a big return, but at the same time, he wanted his team to have a chance at an onside recovery.
Yeah, I think it was more of just an onside kick that they tried to just squeak past them.
Down,
and
Braves.
I don't mind that call, but it just wasn't placed in the right spot by the kicker for the kicking team to get it right then. They had to wait, and they almost got it due to bad special teams by Bosco.
But instead, it's great field position for Rosen and the offense. They take over at their own 36, 28-7. Bosco leading Alemany, 9:41 left to go here in the third quarter. Out of the gun comes Rosen. Play action, screen pass to Wadoud, and it's intercepted. This is going to be a pick six. Brandon Boyd, touchdown Warriors. Brandon Boyd read the screen pass intended for Jaleel Wadoud perfectly, and an easy pick six for Boyd, and Alemany is right back in this game, 28-14 with 9:32 left to go in the third quarter. Boy, oh boy, what a change of momentum here.
Change of momentum, and now it's a two-possession game, just like that. Just a bad pass by Josh Rosen. They were able to read it. And I think Jason Negro is going to have to switch up his strategy because I don't know if that screen will work right away again. But a lot of times that is bad blocking by the receivers. I couldn't tell exactly what receiver it was. But usually when that happens, that quarterback breaks off the route and a receiver is able to, the cornerback, is able to pick six. And now the score is 14-28 with 9 minutes and 32 seconds left in the third quarter. We have ourselves a ball game here.
We certainly do. 28-14 after the pick six from Brandon Boyd, returning it 36 yards to the house, and there was no doubt about that pick six. The second he got his hands on that ball, he was gone to the end zone.
Yeah, no one was catching him right after he touched that football. He knew, and everyone else on both
19,
the Alemany and Bosco sidelines knew that it was a pick six.
So Alemany sniffing out the screen pass, and Brandon Boyd taking it to the house. 28-14 now. One offensive play run by Alemany in this quarter. They went for an 80-yard touchdown. One defensive play goes back for a touchdown as well. And now we're going to have an onside kick. It's up in the air, and St. John Bosco is going to recover it as it goes out of bounds. Gabe Madrano got a hand on it and tipped it out of bounds. Smart decision there by the senior defensive lineman playing some special teams. And St. John Bosco will have themselves premier field position here. Boy, you have all the momentum in the world if you're Coach Harrington and Alemany. You just scored 14 consecutive points in a less than 30-second span.
Yard line.
But
first down, Braves.
now you give St. John Bosco prime field position at their own 47. I mean, kick it away. See if you can get another pick six or a defensive stop. I don't understand that play call, that kick call whatsoever, as the first run here for the Braves is going to go to Sean McGrew, and he's stopped right at the line for no gain.
Yeah, and going back to that onside kick, I don't mind it that much because I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep that momentum that they have right now. But it would have been great if it worked, but the luxury of being on the receiving team is you can hit it out of bounds.
The crowd here at Alemany finally has something to cheer about here tonight. Play action, Rosen towards the middle, and it's almost intercepted again.
Pass incomplete.
Okalani Longi, the linebacker, got his hands on it, and St. John Bosco very fortunate that Rosen didn't just throw his interception, his second interception of the game right there.
We were complimenting Josh Rosen for his staying in the pocket, not getting flustered, but that was another terrible pass that should have been intercepted. Josh Rosen is not looking good.
3rd and 9 here for the Braves. They're on their own 48. 4 receivers set for St. John Bosco. 28-14, the Braves lead, but Alemany has just scored two quick touchdowns here at the beginning of the 3rd quarter, and a flag flies. Delay of game on St. John Bosco is going to back this one up 5 more yards.
That, once again, Josh Rosen right there, or they sang a timeout by Jason Negro takes a timeout, so it will be 3rd and 9. Josh Rosen, that is his fault once again. That is 3 back-to-back mistakes on his part. One being a bad throw, another one being one that should have been picked off. And that right there, not having the play call in your head, he's not looking good. He's just being flustered. Maybe it has to do with the crowd factor here, but he just needs to settle down and make the throws that he should be making. I don't know what's up with them right now, but he needs to play his game and needs to get settled down, and he is not looking good so far. And it is, there's 8 minutes and 59 seconds in the 3rd, so much time for Alemany to come back, and so much time for Josh Rosen to damage himself if he doesn't get his act together now.
The crowd finally having something to cheer about here. 28-14. Alemany in position to get a stop. It's a 3rd and long for the Braves. I can't even hear myself talk. That's how loud the crowd is here.
Ball spot at the 48-yard line. 3rd down and
5K plus on their feet. Most of them Alemany fans. Rosen, a 4-receiver set, changes the play at the line. Sean McGrew, the lone back. Out of the gun comes Rosen. Screen pass to Fields. Fields tries to cut across the middle. Fields close to the 1st down marker, and I do believe he got it by a hair.
Shea Fields, what can we... Oh, and that takes the life out of this crowd a little bit. We heard a little bit of talk. We'll see. It looks like it will be a 1st down. It is, and that stops a little bit of the crowd here. That's Shea Fields again. Josh Rosen putting the ball in Shea Fields' hand and saying, make me look good.
28-14, 8:35 left to go, 3rd quarter. Bosco has a 1st and 10 at the Alemany 43. Rosen has a 5-receiver set. McGrew and Fields to the right. Quintero, Harrell, and Wadood to the left. Rosen out of the gun. Has time, throws, and it's complete to Sean McGrew, and McGrew out of bounds after a gain of 7. A flag flies in late. That's probably going to be an extra 15 yards for a late hit or a horse collar.
It'll be a late hit. Sean McGrew is out of bounds when he was tackled, so it will be most likely a late hit, and that's 15 yards. And like we said, Alemany has so much momentum going, and now they just give 15 yards to St. John Bosco.
So Alemany, who for a second had a lot of momentum and the crowd was going bananas, that's going to take the wind out of their sail just a little bit there. St. John Bosco is going to have this football in the Alemany red zone at the Warrior 19-yard line. 1st and 10 For St. John Bosco, 8:11 left to go. Third quarter, the Braves lead 28-14. 3 receivers set. Run to Sean McGrew. McGrew up the middle. Nobody's going to get him. Touchdown Braves.
5, Sean McGrew.
19 yards.
Touchdown.
The super sophomore to the house. And St. John Bosco gets the momentum back with 8:07 left to go in the third quarter. An extra point away from making it 35-14.
I'm pretty sure that man goes by the nickname Lightning McGrew, and we have seen all year why. That man is super quick, and he is taking some wind out of this Alemany sail right now, and that's very big for Bosco to get back to now a 3-possession lead.
Boy, isn't that something? The extra point up and good from Budjevic, and what's it called? The Hammerjack, the Florida State Seminole chant, the oh, that started on the St. John Bosco sideline. Wow, it's I don't know if I've ever seen an environment like this for St. John Bosco. The visiting team is definitely controlling the crowd right now. 35-14, the Braves lead. 8:07 left to go here in the third quarter. We'll step aside from Alemany High School. Bosco will be kicking off when we get back.
Tonight's presentation of St. John Bosco football is brought to you by Tam's Pizzeria. Deliver, call in, and order. Just walk into the corner of Bellflower and Rosecrans for Tam's Pizzeria. They have it all. And highschoolscoreboard.com. All of your updated scores, news, and statistics all at one place. To get the app and registration, log on at highschoolscoreboard.com.
Back here at Bishop Alemany High School, Sean McGrew just ran in from 19 yards to extend St. John Bosco's lead back out to 21. 35-14, they lead. 8:07 left to go, third quarter. Reed Budjevic getting set to boot this one off, and it sails back into the end zone once again. And a familiar spot for Alif Grays and the Alemany offense at the 20-yard line. If Alemany wants to play how Coach Harrington wants them to play, they need a score on this drive.
Yeah, they got a little bit of momentum knocked off with Sean McGrew's touchdown, but they can gain that momentum back if they can score on this possession. What they don't want to do is at worst go 3 now, or even just punt the ball away to Bosco. That would be a big loss. Even 3 points would be good, 7 would be ideal.
Out of the gun comes Alif Grays, the senior quarterback. He's just 5'11", but he certainly knows how to patrol his team. Pass to the sidelines, and Wadood intercepts it. Second interception for Wadood on the night. He's inside the 30, and he's cut up at the 24.
Ball is intercepted by number 2, Jaleel Wadood.
Jaleel Wadood, for the second time tonight, intercepts a pass thrown into the hands of Alif Grays, and he returns it to the Alemany 24. If the wind wasn't out of the sail of the Warriors after Sean McGrew's 19-yard run, it certainly is now.
Spotted on the 24-yard
First and 10
line.
Braves
First down,
from the Alemany
Braves.
24.
But Jaleel Wadood there saved a touchdown. If that went over his head, this crowd would have exploded, because that would have been an easy touchdown if Jaleel Wadood had not jumped and gotten that interception.
35-14, Braves lead. The run, they'll go back to Sean McGrew, and
Ball carried by
McGrew
number 5, Sean
cut up
McGrew.
after a gain of about 2.5. 7:45
Tackle made by number 30,
left to go here in
Kevin
the third
Summers.
quarter. 35-14, Braves lead. Looking to try to add on to that here.
Ball
You got to give
spotted on
credit
the 22-yard
to
line.
all the fans
Second
that
down
showed up here
and 8.
tonight. They've certainly made this an excitable environment to be a part of. It is, after all, the semifinals of the Pac-5 playoffs. Out of the gun comes Rosen, the handoff to McGrew. McGrew has himself a seam down the sidelines. He's got one man to beat, and he's taken down inside the 5.
Ball carried by
Sean
number 5,
McGrew
Sean
continues
McGrew.
to just run all over the Alemany defense.
Tackle made by number 3.
Yes, he
Brandon
has,
Boyd.
and we see Manesse and Nessie, also known as Nos, check in this game. And
Ball
And
spot
we
on
see
the
the big
1
boys
yard
are
line.
coming in now, and I
First
think
down, Braves.
we know what this is. If it's not a trick play, it's going to be a handoff to Nos, and Nos is going to put the crown of his helmet down and try to get that 1 yard.
I think this is the Samoa package.
Oh, wait, no, my bad. This is Samoa.
Samoa. Emery Sefo, Jason Lucero, and Nas are in the backfield. The ball's at the 1 yard line, and they'll hand it to Nas. Nas, we're waiting for a call. Doesn't look like he got in. He did not. He's cut up right inside the
Ball
1 yard
carried by
line.
number 8.
I think all of us want to see the big 307-pound offensive lineman Emery Sefo get the carry here.
How did I not see the Samoa package coming in? I saw Nos check in the game, and then I
Brings up
saw
second
everyone
down.
else. Here it is. I think they might give it to him on this play. We'll see.
35-14, Braves lead under 7 minutes left to go. They're at the Alemany 1. They'll go back to Nas. Nas dives over the end line, dives over the goal line. Touchdown,
Ball carried by
Braves.
number 8, Anesi, for Braves touchdown.
Okay, maybe Emery Sefo didn't get the carry, but same result. As St. John Bosco can sit back and relax just a little bit here with 6:36 left to go in the third quarter. They get both those touchdowns back, and they're an extra point away from making this once again a 28-point lead.
Yeah, and Emery acted as a decoy there because on multiple plays in games have we seen Emery Sefo get the ball, scored on one, almost scored on the other. So
good.
that's this package they're looking
With
for.
6 minutes, 36
And
seconds
they aren't
left
expecting
in the third
Nos necessarily
quarter.
to get the ball, but he was able
St.
to get
John
it in there.
Bosco Braves, 42.
Reed Budrovich was able to
Your
make the
Alemany
kick.
Warriors,
The score is
14.
now 14-42 in the favor of the St. John Bosco Braves with 6 minutes and 36 seconds left
Hunger
in the
doesn't have a
third
curfew,
quarter.
So stop by
While it's
Jack in the
still
Box after the
third
game.
quarter,
The entire menu
it
is
looks like
available
if this keeps
anytime,
going,
including
this is going
your
St. John
late-night
Bosco's
favorites
way,
like
but we saw
tacos,
it
ultimate
snapped
cheeseburgers,
right back into
seasoned
Alemany's
curly
way
fries, and
real
Jack's
quick,
spicy
so
chicken
we can
sandwiches.
definitely not count them out of this game right now.
Certainly, it's not over yet, but St. John Bosco has to feel good about their chances, up 42-14. Still a lot of football left to be played here from Bishop Alemany High School. 6:36 left to go in the third quarter. It's 42-14. Reed Budrovich getting set to kick it off here for St. John Bosco. Budrovich kicks this one away, and it's booted back into the end zone once again. So the Alemany returnmen have been held at bay here tonight, and
Result of the
Alif
kickoff is a
Grays will
touchback.
take over
Ball will be spotted on the 20
at the 20-yard line with the
First
Alemany
down,
offense.
Warriors.
Here's something that's kind of deflating. I know all of us
California
Bosco
School
people
Employees
want to see
Association
Bosco Poly
represents
again,
the
but
230,000
Modern Day's putting on
hardworking
a heck of
men
a
and
show
women
down
who
at
keep our
Veterans
public
Memorial
schools,
Stadium.
students
It's
safe,
halftime.
well-fed,
Modern Day
and ready to learn.
19,
For
Long
more
Beach
information,
Poly,
please visit
nada,
www.csca.com.
That's a surprising score. I thought it was going to be close. I didn't know Modern Day was going to hold them to 0 at half. But we saw the Orange Lutheran game, and Chris said he cannot pick against Long Beach Poly after the Orange Lutheran, so we'll see if Poly can get that half talk in them and get their act together and pull out a victory.
A delayed handoff here on the first play is going to be gobbled up in the backfield. Huge loss of about 6 that time.
Ball
St.
carried
John
by number
Bosco
16, Dominic
was
Gaines.
right on the delayed
Tackle
handoff,
made by
and
number 44.
this will bring up
Malik
a
Thornton.
2nd and 16 for Alemany. Great defense that time by St. John Bosco, just closing in to Dominic Davis, who thought he might have had a lane open for a second.
Ball
Yeah, he
spotted
had
on
a
the 14-yard
little bit of a
line.
seam open,
Second
but
down.
that got closed real quick by that Bosco defense.
.558 left to go, third quarter, 42-14. The Braves on top. Out of the gun is Grays. He throws to Deshaun Holmes, and the pass is incomplete. Great job by Chandler Hawkins
Pass is
getting over
incomplete.
and knocking the pass away, and this will force Alemany
Pass intended
to
for
have
number
to convert
13,
on a 3rd and
Deshaun
16
Holmes.
and do something they haven't done all night. Throw the ball downfield.
Yeah, and that wasn't Chandler Hawkins hit the guy to knock it loose. It was just put his shoulder down and hit the guy. when he was trying to catch the ball and just separated the man from the ball. And just a good job by that Air Force commit. Shows why he's getting those D1 offers right there.
Chandler Hawkins, a very underrated corner for the Braves. Wouldn't be surprised if a couple of Pac-12 schools came up on his interest radar late, as there's a tackle. It's going to be a sack, and I don't know if that's back into the end zone. It's just going to be a sack. Luckily for Alemany, it's not a safety.
Number 11.
Ball's all the way back at the Warriors' own 4-yard line, and Alemany will be punting from the end zone here. Boy, St. John Bosco just absolutely brought the pressure that time, and I mean, give the Warriors credit. I mean, they've been doing well. The offensive line of Alemany's been doing well for the most part here tonight, but there was absolutely no chance that any offensive line was going to stop the Braves coming in on the Mr. Alif Grays on that play, as he's taken down all the way back at the 4.
Yeah, he definitely got gobbled up back there. And that was just the whole defensive line just angry back there getting there.
Back to punt is Carlos Garrido, and we have whistles on the field. It's
Penalty
a
marker on the field.
offsides penalty
against
on
the
St.
Braves.
John Bosco, so this gives Garrido a little bit of breathing room. He's still going to be punting from the end zone, but the long snapper is going to get to snap from the normal 10 yards or so. Usually there is about 15 yards separating the punter and the long snapper. Here it's about 12-13, so not too far off the norm. Garrido back to punt, and he does get it off. It is a decent punt. Brett Baldwin back to return it. Catches it at the Alemany 44. Huge block laid on by Chandler Hawkins, and Brett Baldwin still on his feet. Brett Baldwin inside the 10, and he's down at the 3-yard line.
Ball returned by number 15.
What a punt return
Baldwin.
that time from Brett Baldwin. Only a punt return of 41 yards, but they backed up Alemany so deep that was actually a decent punt. Baldwin, who had a touchdown on a punt return last year against Mater Dei, showcases his returning abilities here, and St. John Bosco might be able to put it away, an early
Ball
dagger,
spotted
if
at
they
the
can
3-yard
score right
line.
here.
First down, Braves.
On that, good job by Brett Baldwin, but Chandler Hawkins laid one of the nastiest blocks I've seen all year on one of those Alemany special team turn guys. It was just, man, I don't even have words. That was just straight nasty.
It was quite the hit by Chandler Hawkins on the block. First and goal for the Braves. It's to Manesse Anesi, and Anesi is going to be stopped short of the
Carried
goal
by
line.
Number 8, Alessi.
Second and goal here for St. John
Tackled by
Bosco
number
at the
41,
Alemany
Michael
2
Hudson.
after the nice return from Brett Baldwin, the senior safety. Two receivers set here for the Braves. It's Nas and Wadud in the backfield with Rosen. Hand off to Nas again. Nas dives forward, and he's into the end zone for
carried
his
by number
third touchdown of the night. And with 4:08 left to go here in the third quarter, the early dagger in the hearts of the Alemany Warriors. Reed Budrovich is an extra point away from making this thing 49-14.
Yeah, he's extra point away, and now the momentum has shifted. This has just been a great game for the crowds. It's just gone every which way. At first it was going for Bosco. Crowd was getting all happy. And then at halftime, Alemany had a great turnaround and had one of the loudest crowds they've probably ever had here. And then St. John Bosco was able to stop that, and their crowd went crazy too. And Reed Budrovich made that extra point to make it 49-14. But it has just been a great game to watch now. St. John Bosco has taken control of this game right now, but don't count out Alemany. It's 4:08 in the third. Don't count them out yet, but it has been a great game so far with many things going on.
4:08 left to go in the third quarter, 49-14. St. John Bosco leading the Warriors of Alemany High School.
Hey, Riley.
This kind of, the Braves are really starting to put it away here. I really think so. I mean, it's not over yet. I mean, there's still 16 minutes of football left to be played in regulation, but are you trying to tell me that Alemany's going to amount up to 49 points against this Bosco defense? I just don't think so.
I don't see it, but it's possible. It's possible, but not likely. We've seen crazier things happen here, and I'm sure you've seen it. I don't expect it to happen, but, it's possible. And I think what will really show
Results of the
is
kickoff
this
is a
drive
touchback.
right here. If Alemany's
Ball will be
offense
spotted
can
on
get
the
some,
20-yard
they have a
line.
little spark, but
First down,
I know
Warriors.
there's 4 minutes and 8 seconds left in this, but this is a pretty crucial drive. The offense hasn't been producing so much right now. The St. John Bosco's offense has.
Max
So
Prep is a
they
proud partner
kind of
of
need to
CIF.
get something going right
Visit
now.
maxprep.com now.
49 to 14, 4:08 left to go.
Roster schedule, leaderboards, and more.
In the third quarter.
maxprep.com, America's source for high school
I mean,
sports.
if you're Alemany here, you're somewhat down and out. To bring yourselves back up, you definitely need a score.
Yeah, you do definitely need a score right now because you are, like Chris said, down and out in a way. But you do need a score, and you need to have very good job right there. And now there is a run up the middle for a
Down
gain
by
of
number
6,
11, Mariner.
so it'll be 2nd and 4.
Second and 4 after the run
Ball
from
carried by
Dominic
number 16,
Davis.
Dominic Davis. Ball spotted
Dominic
on the
Davis
26-yard
outside of that
line.
80-yard run.
Second down
Bosco's
and 4.
done a good job at bottling him up.
They really have. And we've seen Bosco do very good at defending most runs, and no exception here tonight except from one run right there in which he just showed his speed.
Second and 4 here for Alemany. Flushed out to the right is the quarterback Grays, and the pass
is
falls incomplete as he has to throw it away.
Sylvester Robinson.
3:18 left to go, third quarter, 49-14. If things hold up like they do here, St. John Bosco, for the first time since 1986, will be headed to Angel Stadium
Depending on the play.
to try and battle for a CIF
Brent
Southern
Baldwin.
Section championship. It's just too good to be true, honestly.
It really has, and that's what the St. John Bosco Braves expected. They expected to go in and win
Ball spotted on the
CIF,
26-yard
and
line.
they
Third down
after
and
CIF
4.
they have their sights set on state. They don't expect on just settling with CIF, but that has been their goal all along.
Out of the gun, Grays, he throws a bullet out to his wide receiver,
Pass complete to
number 6, Dominic Bush, and Bush has himself a first down to the 32-yard line. So at least Alemany doesn't go 3 and out there. They pick up a
Ball
first down
spotted
and
on the 33-yard
still have hopes
line.
at scoring on this
First
drive.
down, Warriors.
Yeah, that's the last thing you'd want to do if you're Alemany is to go 3 and out right there. So good job on the first down. They need to get a couple more and then get a score in.
19-0 Mater Dei down at Veterans Memorial Stadium. If St. John Bosco can hold on here and Mater Dei can hold on there, it'd be an All-Trinity League Pac-5
Ball
championship
carried by
game.
number 16,
Dominic Davis cuts up the middle for a gain of 2 that time. Second and
Tackle
8
made
for
by number
Alemany at their own
91.
35-yard line. Other score update.
Ivan Martinez.
Sarah has gotten on the scoreboard, and they lead St. Francis now 14-7. That game with about 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Gain of 1 yard
So
on
if
the
Sarah
play,
can
brings
hold
up
on, they'll be
second
headed
down
towards
and
their
9.
championship game in their division. And now if St. John Bosco, I mean, we're looking really ahead here, but if St. John Bosco and Sarah can both win their respective divisions, they'd probably meet up in the open division, as taken down behind the line of scrimmage and sacked by the USC commit Malik Dorton is the quarterback Alif Grays, and a little bit of scuffle after the play between Ivan Martinez and an offensive lineman of the Warriors. No flags right there, but that'll draw both coaches on the field. I haven't seen quite a scramble like that. I mean, St. John Bosco, such a well-coached team, you don't usually see chippy play like that, but
Tackle
sure
made
enough,
number 44,
it's the
Malik
semifinals. You're fired up. Stuff like that's going to happen.
Yeah, and
Ball spotted
there
on the
it was
27-yard
chippy
line.
and
Third
everything.
down.
And you can argue that there was flags, but the refs let that one play, and I think if there were flags, it would be double flags, so called off anyways. But so, I mean, people aren't happy with that, but I think if there was a flag, it would be a double flag. because Ivan Martinez was shoved down by two players after the whistle had blown way before. That's when he popped up and shoved the other guy. So if you're going to, on that one, if you're going to call one, you have to call the other. But they didn't call any, so that's the ref's decision.
And I don't know if any of you guys who are listening have ever seen Ivan Martinez up close, but it's not something you want to mess with, especially when he's got about 6 or 7 of the same type of bodies behind him that St. John Bosco's defense poses. I mean, if you want to fight, you don't want to fight against the defensive line of the Braves. A lot of big guys on that, got a lot of big meaty guys on the defensive line of St. John Bosco.
Yeah, and one of the first things you notice when Bosco comes out, either pregame or halftime, is just the size, the sheer size of how big they are compared to most other teams.
After the timeout taken by Jason Negro, it's a 3rd and 16. Malik Dorton sacking Alif Grays, making this a 3rd and long. 49-14, the Braves lead. 1:32 left to go here in the third quarter. Grays is going to scramble, and he's taken down by Chandler Lanou after almost just a gain of 2 that time.
Alif Grays.
I mean, that's how. I mean, yeah, Chandler Lanou's only stands at about 6 feet, 205, and that's kind of small for a linebacker at the next level, but his closing speed is nearly unmatchable. I mean, how quickly he gets to an already quick guy, and Alif Grays himself, that's unbelievable.
And not only his reaction speed, but just his football IQ. He has great instinct at a senior in high school. He has great instinct, and he's able to read coverages very well and knows when to break either for a run or break back off into a pass. Just very good that you usually don't see at this level of football.
It's going to be a punt here on a 4th and 16. Brett Baldwin's back to return once again. Baldwin will be taken down at the 42, but I have a feeling this one's coming back as a penalty marker is down on the field, so likely be a holding call against Chandler Hawkins, who had the big block last time in the backfield.
Yeah, this one's going to go against Chandler Hawkins for a push in the back, a block in the back. And just that's not smart by Chandler Hawkins. I know he had a great block on the last time, but like the cardinal rule is if you can't see the numbers in front, you don't hit him. And all Chandler could see was the guy's back of the guy's name, and you can't hit him when you can see that.
So this will push it back to the 23-yard line of the Braves. Up 49-14, 31 seconds left to go in the third quarter. From the 23, the handoff to Clifford Sims, and Sims just slipped right there and loses about a yard before a flag flies in.
Penalty marker on the field.
More chippiness this time between Damian Mama and a couple of Alemany defenders. This could be, like you said, one of those offsetting penalties.
Yeah, it could be. It just right now it comes down to see what the refs will call here. So we'll just have to await the call here. Shoot.
Waiting from the call down on the field from the official. 49-14, the Braves lead, and
penalty against the Braves.
It's going to go against St. John Bosco here, a personal foul. Up 49-14, I think if you're St. John Bosco, I mean, if Alemany clearly frustrated by the score of the ball game, I mean, if you're St. John Bosco and Alemany's trying to start something, you just got to avoid that. You really do.
Yeah, and that's something Negro's going to have to tell his team for the next game if they do happen to play at the next game, which it looks like it right now.
Spot on the 11-yard
but
line.
if they beat another team like this and they try to get chippy with them, Negro's got to tell his team, you guys can't play that game.
It's now a 1st and 19 for the Braves. It was half the distance to the goal. St. John Bosco has the ball at their own 11-yard line, up 49-14. Clock to 5 seconds here, and This will be the final play of the third quarter. Screen pass out to Shea Fields, and Shea Fields has room down the sidelines, and Shea Fields all the way towards the first down marker, and I believe he got it. About a gain of 20 that time will be the final play of our third quarter here from Bishop Alemany High School. St. John Bosco withstood the hits that Alemany gave them in the third quarter, but as we head to the fourth, St. John Bosco 49, Alemany 14.
Catch every game of the St. John Bosco season with our Twitter handle at St. John Bosco. It's SJB Broadcast. Again, SJB and the word broadcast. Also make sure to tune into the post-game shows. We'll interview the player of the game along with the highlights and analysis of tonight's contest. Now back to the guys. Nick Rice, Adam Ferrister, and your host Chris Sylvester with a call from National Sports, an affiliate of Spreaker.com.
Back here at Bishop Alemany High School, just about set to start the fourth quarter. 49-14, St. John Bosco leading the home team, the Warriors of Bishop Alemany, the Sarah League champions from this past season. Bishop Alemany, it's starting to look like this is probably the end of the road for the Warriors, but I mean, if you're Coach Harrington, you can't hang your head. You had a fantastic season. You beat a couple of premier programs. You look at wins over Servite, Corona Centennial. I mean, it's been quite the year for Bishop Alemany, but unfortunately for them, they ran into numero uno, St. John Bosco. 1st and 10 for the Braves. Rosen's going deep, and the pass is intercepted. He was going for Jaleel Wadood, and Deshaun Holmes was there to pick it off. Rosen throws his second interception of the game.
Deshaun Holmes!
Yeah, he should have 3. But that's just, Josh Rosen is not doing good. I don't know what it is. But this is the thing. I was going back. That Pauley game, Joshua Rosen was really, he was the guy. And in that Pauley semifinal game last guy, it was him. And then Darren Walker didn't do much either that game. So there was really no one else. But where now you have a defense that can stop them.
First down,
you have
Warriors.
Sean McGrew, who you can hand it off to. If Sean McGrew's not working, you have Nosh, who you can give it to. You can give it to Shea or Jaleel on these screen passes when Rosen can't be throwing deep. So that's why Bosco is so much better than they were last year.
St. John Bosco only put up 10 points in that semifinal game. Last year they've exceeded that amount by 39, and we still got 10:55 left to go in the third quarter here. 49-14, the Braves holding on to that lead. Alemany taking over at their own 34 after Rosen threw the pick. It doesn't really cost St. John Bosco here, the interceptions from Josh Rosen tonight. But in a close game that they might face next week against either Mater Dei or Pauley, or if they can advance past next week to the state championship rounds, I mean, those are going to come back to bite you if you're St. John Bosco. And, if you're Rosen, you really got to limit the turnovers.
Yeah, and it was a pass he should have been able to make. He could have thrown it over for an over-the-shoulder pass, but instead he threw it short.
Number 2, Alif Gray.
On a 2nd and 5 here, it's Alif Gray keeping for
tackle made by number 15, Brent Baldwin.
The Alemany Warriors. He has himself a first down to the Alemany 41. So if you're Coach Harrington here, you're down 49-14, 10 minutes left to go in regulation. What's the game plan?
You got to try to play good football, not get turnovers, and score quick,
First down,
and
Warriors.
force 3 and outs. That's really what you have to do here. It's very difficult, and I don't think that they'll be able to pull it out against St. John Bosco, but that's the strategy.
It's going to take a miracle for these Alemany Warriors to try to even get this thing to overtime. A screen pass is incomplete, intended for the wide receiver, Brandon
Pass is
Pierce.
incomplete, intended for number 4, Brandon Pierce.
9:25 left to go here in the
Defending on the play, number 15, Brent Baldwin.
fourth quarter, 49-14. I believe that was an incomplete pass, correct?
Yes.
And the clock is still running. I don't know. Do we really have a situation with a running clock?
No, I think it might have to do with the ball was set after that, and so they're running the clock. They'll do that in college football too. So either it's a mistake or it was just the fact that it was a continuation after.
Well, that can't be good for the Warriors. His time's definitely not on their side. Brandon Pierce this time catches it over the middle for a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and 5 for Alemany at their own 45-yard line. Clock continues to wind down under 8:35 left to go here in regulation. 49-14.
Third down.
The Braves lead. They are so close to going back to the CIF Southern Section Championship game for the first time since 1986. Just 8 minutes and 10 seconds separates them from doing just that. As a timeout here taken by Alemany. Their second charge timeout of the half, so they'll have one more left. While they take a timeout, we will as well. We'll get you updated on that Poly Mater Dei game as well as that Sarah St. Francis game when we get back. 8:11 left to go in the fourth quarter. St. John Bosco leading 49-14 on the way back to a CIF Southern Section Championship game next Saturday in Anaheim.
Tonight's presentation of St. John Bosco football is brought to you by Tam's Pizzeria. Deliver, call in, and order. Just walk into the corner of Bellflower and Rosecrans for Tam's Pizzeria. They have it all. And highschoolscoreboard.com. All of your updated scores, news, and statistics all at one place. To get the app and registration, log on at highschoolscoreboard.com.
Back here at Bishop Alemany High School, 8:05 left to go in the fourth quarter. 49-14, the Braves leading the Warriors of Alemany High School en route to their first CIF Southern Section Pac-5 championship appearance since 1986 when they took on Crespi in that game. They did not come up victorious in that game, but boy, certainly would it be big for Jason Negro in his 4th year of coaching for the Braves to get back to that mark. And it'll be Alemany punting here after they are faced with a 4th and 4 situation. Brett Baldwin back to receive for the Braves. Under 7.5 here left to go. Back to punt it away is Carlos Garrido, and it's a short punt. Shanked out of bounds, it's going to go. So Josh Rosen and the offense will have pretty good field position here at their own 37-yard line. That clock continues to run, so apparently we do have a running clock here. I don't understand it, but that's basically the white flag from Coach Harrington.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it continues to run. So Josh Rosen will take the field on his own 37-yard line. Oh, now the backup, Andrew Katnick, is in for Josh Rosen.
Well, I mean, with a running clock, why not give the senior some playing time? Hand off to Clifford Sims, and Sims busts ahead to the 40 for about a gain of 3. So how about this?
By number 22,
I think
Clifford
it's
Sims.
pretty much set here. It's cooked, glazed, and about 6.5 minutes away from being sliced. St. John Bosco is going to go to Anaheim for the CIF Pac-5 championship game next week against either Mater Dei or Poly. Mater Dei leading Long Beach Poly 19-0 right now down at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Other score, Sarah has taken a 16-7 lead over St. Francis. Back to the ground, it's Clifford Sims, and Clifford Sims is loose down the sidelines. He's only got a man to beat before he's pushed out at the 21-yard line. Clifford Sims, we saw him carry it in for the Braves last week for a couple of scores. Right here, a big run up the middle, and St. John Bosco right back in Alemany's red zone, even with the backup unit in.
Yeah, and we talked about it last week too. Bosco's defense, second string, is better than most
Braves, number 12,
first
Andrew
stringers.
Katnick.
Bosco could go a long way with just their second string. That just shows how good they are with their first.
Back to the ground, Clifford Sims is taken down after no gain. 5.5 left to go, 49-14. Braves up on top of the Warriors here. I mean, the Warriors fought hard in that third quarter. I mean, they got themselves back in the game, but they just simply weren't able to stop St. John Bosco's offense, and it's going to prove to be just a little bit too much here tonight. 2nd and 8 after the run from Sims. The ball sits right at the Alemany 20-yard line. Katnick changes the play at the line. All the backups are in for the Braves, getting rested up for that championship game next Saturday. Katnick's going to keep here, and Katnick takes a spill inside the 20-yard line at the 17.
Katnick.
So a third down awaits
Tackle made by number 30.
the St. John
Kevin
Bosco
Summers.
Braves with 4:35 left to go in the fourth quarter. I mean, 4 or 5 years ago, getting to this point in the
15-yard
playoffs,
line.
the
Third
semifinals
down,
alone
and
would be
3.
quite remarkable. But what Jason Negro's done to just elevate this program is something that not too many people thought would ever happen at St. John Bosco a few years ago when they were at the bottom of the Trinity
by
League.
number 22,
Yeah,
Clifford
and
Sims.
Jason Negro, we talked about it last week too.
Tripped up by
He
number
told his
17,
guys when he
Khalil
first came
Woodson.
in, that was 4 years ago, preseason in the summer. He said, "If you guys stay, I'll win you guys a CIF championship." And the guys bought into that, and that
Ball
is
carried by number
what they're
22,
doing
Clifford
right now.
Sims.
They bought into that program, and that's what they feel is rightfully
made by
theirs.
number
They
15,
feel they've
Tyree
worked hard
Thompson.
enough to get to that
Along with
spot.
number 58,
And as of
Quentin
right now, it
Sims.
looks like they have worked hard enough to get to the finals, and it's going to be interesting to see who they play in the finals now and how they'll do it against a team like Mater Dei again or Pauley, depending on who wins that game.
Well, the CIF championship's not supposed to be easy, and it won't be easy
Tackle
against
made by number
either one of those
41
opponents next
for a
week.
loss.
But 19-0
Michael
Mater Dei
Hudson.
leads Long Beach Poly in the third quarter. It's certainly looking like it's going to be an all-Trinity League CIF championship matchup.
And going back to Mater Dei, Long Beach Poly score update with about 8 minutes left to go. Mater Dei has the ball, and this is in the third quarter, and leads 19-0.
So Mater Dei can taste it as well. St. John Bosco has the game all but wrapped up, as Andrew Katnick's going to keep here, and a flag flies in late.
Ball
2:45 left to go in the fourth quarter,
Penalty
49-14.
marker on the field.
The Braves lead. They had the
Penalty
ball
against the Braves.
with a third down at the Alemany 9-yard line. Katnick kept it that time, and that play will be coming back. A holding call on the St. John Bosco backup offensive line. How do you like the sound of that?
The backup of offensive line. It's good for them to get. They wouldn't, if they did go somewhere else and they could have started, but they wouldn't have this moment right here playing in a CIF semifinal game.
Instead of a 4th and 5, it's a 4th and goal from the 18-yard lines. The handoff back to Sims, and Sims is taken
Ball
down
carried
after
by
a
number
gain of
22,
5.
Clifford
So
Sims.
it looks like Jason Negro
Tackle made by number 58.
might send out the field goal unit
Quentin
here.
Sims.
Maybe, just maybe. Or maybe he'll just play it a little bit conservative, take a knee, and let that clock wind out. Under a minute 40 left to go, fourth quarter, 49-14. How about that? Your St. John Bosco Braves will be playing next Saturday night at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, as Clifford Sims now on a 4th and 18 goes down the sidelines as is into the
Ball
end
carried by
zone.
number 22, Clifford Sims.
It's
for
the
Braves
cherry on
touchdown.
top for St. John Bosco, is with 1:24 left to go in regulation. It's now a blowout, 55-14.
Clifford Sims, that's the fourth running back, or third, running back, and he looks just as good as both Noss and McGrew. Maybe not as fast, and maybe not as powerful, but he's still a very good back that you can utilize, especially in the coming years.
Certainly something to look forward to for Jason Negro and his coaching staff. But as of right now, I think I know what they're looking forward to. It's going to be a fun bus ride from Mission Hills all the way back to Bellflower. Won't it be?
Yes, it's always fun when on a bus ride when you come home and win. That's especially knowing you're going to the CIF finals, and I'm sure that whole bus ride they'll be
And the extra
looking
point
at that
is good.
Long Beach Poly Mater Dei score, finding out who they'll play next Friday. at
At
Angel
Farmers, we
Stadium.
believe in smarter coverage
That's where
because the
Negro
more
said he
you
wanted to
know,
go.
the better you can
He
plan
said
for what's ahead.
Angel Stadium's the
Find your local
destination,
agent at
and that is where they're headed.
96 Farmers. We are
56-14
insurance. We
after
are
the
Farmers.
extra point is added from Reed Budrovich. A minute 24 left to go in this game between St. John
Bowling
Bosco and
is proud to be the
Alemany.
official ball of the
Alemany was
CIF
able
Southern
to make
Section.
this
Play the
28-14 at
best.
one point in the
Play
third quarter,
Spalding.
but since then St. John Bosco just put the foot on the gas pedal and hasn't let it up.
Yeah, there was a moment where Alemany had all the momentum and it was getting loud on this side. But St. John Bosco stayed composed and they were able to get a turnover, and score, and just take the wind all out of that sail of Alemany.
So 56-14 our score. A minute 24 left to go.
We have found a set of keys. The key tag has the name Natalie on it. If you're missing
And,
your keys, Natalie,
well,
they're in the press box.
I mean, you know the game's over when you're making a call for keys. We're gonna bring in our stat man now, Burrow, real quickly here. Burrow, 56-14. St. John Bosco leads. A minute 24 left to go here in the fourth quarter. How excited are you to go down to Angel Stadium next week?
I'm missing a trip to Chicago, man. I'm missing a trip to Chicago.
You're missing the trip, but isn't it all worth it, Mr. Statman?
Yeah, I need another ring.
He needs another ring because he's not married. Oh, that's Burrow Lee. He also is the basketball operations manager for the Braves basketball team. You can catch all the Bosco broadcasts for basketball as well on this same national sports station. Bosco basketball involved in the Pac Shores tournament, but they failed. An upset, big upset. They got upset by the Mayfair Monsoon 60-56. The basketball team not having quite the success that the football team did. Football team, in fact, matching the amount of scores that the basketball team had today. 56-14. St. John Bosco leads. Clock under 40 seconds here left to go from Alemany High School. The Warriors fought hard, but in the end, St. John Bosco, the number one team in the state of California, proved to be
Ball
just
carried by number 21,
too much
Ahmad Andrews.
for this Warrior team that won the Sarah League this year, had some marquee wins, but it's St. John Bosco who celebrates on the field, and for the first time since 1986, the Braves of Bellflower, your St. John Bosco Braves, are moving on to the
That's the end
CIF
of the
championship
game.
game
The final score,
next
St.
week
John Bosco 56
against
to
either Long
Alemany
Beach Poly
Warriors 14.
or Mater Dei. That game's still going on at Veterans Memorial Stadium, but for the first time since 1986, Jason Negro's Braves are headed to the CIF Southern Section Pac-5 Championship down at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, defeating the Warriors of Alemany High School tonight 56-14. That's right, folks, your Braves have done it. They defeat the Warriors, the Sarah League champions, tonight 56-14, our finals. Stay tuned for the TAMS post-game report right after a word from our local sponsors. St. John Bosco is headed to the ship. 56-14, they defeat Alemany.
Tonight's presentation of St. John Bosco football is brought to you by Tam's Pizzeria. Deliver, call in, and order. Just walk into the corner of Bellflower and Rosecrans for Tam's Pizzeria. They have it all. And highschoolscoreboard.com. All of your updated scores, news, and statistics all at one place. To get the app and registration, log on at highschoolscoreboard.com. Catch every high school game this season with the High School Scoreboard app, along with @St. John Bosco on Twitter as well. Now back to Bosco football with Chris Sylvester and Nick Rice.
Thank you for listening to another presentation of the National Sports Radio Station, an affiliate of Spreaker.com. The St. John Bosco post-game report is brought to you by Thames Pizzeria. They have it all.
56-14, the final tonight from Alemany High School. The Braves have done it for the first time since 1986. They move on to the CIF Championship game next Saturday night at 8 p.m. at Angel Stadium. Make sure you tune in here for the broadcast of that game and the rest of St. John Bosco's journey throughout the postseason, which they hope ends with a state championship, but certainly a lot of work to be done before then. They played an outstanding ball game tonight on the road. It was a cold one. It was from being out here. It's certainly a chilly night in Mission Hills, and we had a little bit of rainfall throughout the night, but not even a little bit of drizzle here and there could stop Josh Rosen, St. John Bosco, and the rest of the squad's offensive attack. And you just got to give your hats off to Jason Negro and what he's done with this program. I feel like we say it every week, but he deserves every bit of the hype because, boy, Jason Negro, what he's done with this program was unthinkable just 4 years ago when St. John Bosco was down in the dumps at the bottom of the Trinity League. Here they are, though, tonight in 2013, celebrating on the field, celebrating with their fans. They are headed for the first time since 1986 to the CIF Southern Section Championship game against either Mater Dei or Long Beach Poly. And by the looks of it right now, it'll be Mater Dei and St. John Bosco, as it's 27-0 Monarchs over Long Beach Poly. So it looks like you're going to have a blowout down in Long Beach between the Poly Jackrabbits and Mater Dei Monarchs, and you're going to have you had a blowout here tonight between St. John Bosco and Alemany. Both those teams from the Trinity League. Of course, St. John Bosco defeating Mater Dei 24-2 back on November 1st when the two squads matched up. But, Mater Dei, Bruce Rawlinson, they're a different team when you get to the postseason. And, yes, St. John Bosco's rolling along. They're now 13-0 on the season, but they're going to, assuming they play Mater Dei next week, they're going to face probably the best team they've seen all season long. Mater Dei certainly.
What was it going to be, Mater Dei? Mater Dei won?
Mater Dei up 27-0, bro. Mater Dei. I know. I wanted to see Pauly too. I think we all did. But, boy, oh boy. It'll be quite the matchup next week. And the reason why I say St. John Bosco is seeing the best team they're going to see all season long next season is because simply the fact that Mater Dei, like I just said, is a different team when it comes to the postseason. You're going to see a different Mater Dei team, different atmosphere. Same Bruce Rawlinson, just calm, cool, and collected over on the Monarchs sidelines, and same players from Mater Dei. Nothing new for the Monarchs, but they just keep chugging along in the playoffs, just like St. John Bosco. And these two teams, their roads collide next week at 8 o'clock on Saturday in the CIF Southern Section Pac-5 Championship game at Angel Stadium. So by the looks of it, though, it'll be St. John Bosco and Mater Dei next week in the final to decide who wins the Pac-5. Of course, Mater Dei making it to the championship last year, falling short to Long Beach Poly, but certainly the Monarchs getting their revenge on the Jackrabbits tonight. It's 27-0 down at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and barring a miracle down there, it'll be St. John Bosco and Mater Dei, an all-Trinity League final next week at Anaheim Stadium, Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. Adam Ferrister is down on the field trying to get us the player of the game presented by High School Scoreboard. But while he does that, we're going to take a break here on the SJB Broadcast Network. Reminder, St. John Bosco moving on to the championship, the CIF Pac-5 championship for the first time since 1986 with a 56-14 drubbing over the Alemany Warriors tonight here in Mission Hills, California. Come on back for our player of the game as we wrap it up from Alemany High School. The Braves are victorious and are headed to the CIF championship.
Catch every high school game this season with the High School Scoreboard app along with @StJohnBosco on Twitter as well. Now back to Bosco football with Chris Sylvester and Nick Rice.
Live on the campus of St. John Bosco High School in Bellflower, California. It's week 2 of Trinity League football as the Orange Lutheran Lancers are in town. It's Jordan Harris cutting across the field. It's inside the 5. Jordan Harris has a St. John Bosco touchdown.
Very, very good awareness by Harris getting into the open field and knowing where the gaps were in the field.
It's going to be tallied as 49 yards, but he ran about 149 yards on that play. A fantastic cut across the field. He eluded about the whole football team. You are listening to a special presentation of National Sports. St. John Bosco football with Nick Rice, Adam Ferrister, and Chris Sylvester.
Welcome to a new kind of tension all across the alien nation, where everything isn't meant to be okay. Television dreams of tomorrow.
Back here at Bishop Alemany High School, the Braves victorious tonight 56-14 over the home squad, the Bishop Alemany Warriors, the Sarah League champions. You know, you can't hang your head, and I've said it a couple of times here throughout the night. Win or lose, if you're Coach Harrington, you got to go into the offseason happy with your team's performance all season long. They really fought hard, but they ran into the best team in the state of California tonight, and unfortunately for them, it's over. But it's all done here from Bishop Alemany High School. St. John Bosco ends the season of the Warriors, but certainly you can't be upset with your team if you're Coach Harrington. They fought hard to try to come back tonight. Just St. John Bosco was too much in the end. 56-14 the final. Still 27-0 between Mater Dei and Long Beach Poly. The Monarchs on top. That game about set to start the fourth quarter from Veterans Memorial Stadium. So by the looks of it, like I said, it'll be Mater Dei and St. John Bosco next week. It'll be the regular broadcast crew next week. It was Adam and I tonight. Adam did a fantastic job, and I feel our broadcast went well tonight, even without Nick Rice. He had personal matters to attend to, but he will be back with us next Saturday night at 8 p.m. at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California for the championship game of the Pac-5 division between what looks to be St. John Bosco and Mater Dei matching up. An all-Trinity League championship should be a good one next week down at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. We're still awaiting our player of the game from the St. John Bosco Braves. I'm sure Adam is looking just about everywhere to try to find somebody for us, but we certainly appreciate all of our listeners and everybody who's been a part of our broadcast team all year. And, you know, hopefully we got 3 games left for this season, because next week is the CIF championship game, and if you win that, you go into the open division. You probably play Sarah, assuming they hold on to beat St. Francis here tonight. Last we checked, it was 16-14, so stay tuned, and we'll give you the update on that game, and then, of course, the state championship game as well. So for St. John Bosco to complete what they want to complete, they're certainly going to have to win 3 more games, and certainly can't look ahead of Mater Dei, despite the fact that Bosco beat them last week. A couple of weeks ago, and it's been 3 straight wins for Bosco over Mater Dei, and Mater Dei is going to be fired up to try to come out and knock off St. John Bosco and pull the upset next week. But I'm sure St. John Bosco and Coach Jason Negro is going to have his boys ready, like always, because not once have I seen this team come out lackadaisically on any side of the ball. They've never been lethargic like we saw a couple of times last year. Just a completely different team mindset-wise than last season, and that's certainly why they're moving on more than they did last season. Last season, of course, they were knocked out in the semis by Long Beach Poly, but nobody was going to stop the St. John Bosco Braves in their quest to get to Anaheim, and certainly that was the case here tonight. 56-14 the final from Bishop Alemany High School in Mission Hills, California. We're going to take another break here on the SJB broadcast station, and we'll come back to wrap it up as the Braves are headed to the ship. They win it 56-14 over the Alemany Warriors.
Catch every high school game this season with the High School Scoreboard app along with @St. John Bosco on Twitter as well. Now back to Bosco football with Chris Sylvester and Nick Rice. Bosco Football Radio Network. Tams has it all. Pizza, wings, burgers, and more. Say Braves #1 when you order any specialty pizza and receive $2 off. Call in and order at 562-925-7700. Again, 562-925-7700. Walk-ins are always welcome as Tams is located on the corner of Bellflower and Rosecrans. Tams Pizzeria. They have it all.
Back here at Bishop Alemany High School, St. John Bosco headed to the CIF Southern Section Pac-5 Championship next week. Tonight, defeating the Alemany Warriors 56-14. We got Adam Ferrister back up here with a ghost. Nobody's coming up here for the interview tonight?
No, just there's so many reporters down there and families that we'll get one, except it won't be on Spreaker. We'll upload it later.
Stay tuned to the follow us on Twitter at SJB Broadcast, and we'll definitely post not only this week's interview link, but we'll post some from weeks past. I know we have a couple with Sean McGrew and Shay Fields that we got to get up and going on the website. We'll make sure we're on that. Download High School Scoreboard, eat Tam's Pizzeria, and make sure you tune in next Saturday at 8 p.m. as the St. John Bosco Braves will likely be taking on the Mater Dei Monarchs in the CIF Southern Section Championship game. That's all we have for you tonight. From Bishop Alemany High School, the St. John Bosco Braves are victorious and for the first time since 1986 are headed to the CIF Championship game 56-14. They defeat the Alemany Warriors here tonight. For Adam Ferrister, for Burrow Lee, and everybody involved in the SJB broadcast, I'm Chris Sylvester signing off. St. John Bosco victorious 56-14. They're headed to the ship.